Or final, NRG 6 wins in a row with their qualification win against 100 Thieves yesterday to make it to London. And now can they best G2 for the first time and make it to the final?
It's time for Match Start, folks, presented by Samsung OLED. Straight into the pistol, an identical pistol record for both of these teams.
Get down to the 0.8 on the tail end of the percentage. That is crazy. Both 19 for 17. It's fast from G2 getting into this B side, and Jaw taking extra space towards that link. Catches off Ethan.
Heavy presence here for G2 inside this B side, and Baby is dishing it out. Leaf can't quite get off the line safely, and Kiko is able to find a couple, but Mata finds himself in a post plant with most of G2 already having dispersed. Except for Valen, he'll wait in the corner and finish the job.
Fast pace from G2, break into that site, immediately take that extra space. You saw Jaw just push all the way through main, cut off Ethan when he was trying to wrap from Waterfall to go help the team. G2 take the fight to them in Blue Room as well. All pro activity from start to finish in what felt like a 20-second round.
Both those kills for Baby, they were affected by paranoia. They could not see that coming. Sick util there from Valorant, who top of Sarsi's top 5, someone who can kind of do it all. IGL and Frag with the very best of them. He's going to be put to the test in a real way today against Ethan, 2-time world champion.
NRG want to go for the aggro play, but that is shut down. Sketchy for a second with Jaw getting so low on HP, but ultimately not a factor.
There's a convergence in this kind of game as well, if you think about it. The 2023 EG team featured both Jorgmo and Ethan. They went their separate ways, and it kind of took them quite a while to start to find that same level of success they'd found under EG.
Yeah, neither of them in that following year, 2024, after the champs win. Ethan not finding success on NRG. Jaw stuck around with EG. Things didn't work out, and then he goes on to join up with G2, wins all the Americas trophies last year. Ethan gets the new NRG team around him with the Challengers players, wins champs. But obviously that is just always the story with this G2 team, right? That global trophy eluding them. Just so close to start last year in Bangkok. Second place, losing 14-16, map 5 against T1. And then NRG retool their roster and win champs at the end of the year. It's crazy.
It's like that younger brother, the talented younger brother that just eclipses you. It's brutal. Yeah, G2 need to try and find out, distill what it takes to win at a global. They have got to get there first. They've at least secured their presence in London. And there'll be another global this year after that, of course, the big one. First couple rounds passed without too much event. G2 already stacking up those first couple. Might have a tech-related issue on stage here.
They have the ability to just completely switch on a dime and just remember, oh yes, we are G2. And they just start playing like a totally different team. We're back in the game, NRG on defense, and they've got the weaponry online that they love to have. That is Brock with the Odin. Their defense on this map is just a brick wall. Last year, they were devastating on Lotus. It was the catalyst of a lot of their success when Scuba joined the team, because him as a duo on defense with Brock are just so strong at anchoring these sites.
It is very difficult to get in past this Vice util. Both teams have relatively similar comps, right, with the difference in the duelists, but they both have the Vipers, so expect both teams to try and operate around this lurk wall on that A side of the map, the one that Mata is right now, pretty diligently checking. Baby just a walk up there on Ethan, that is huge. Fades out of the picture, that's the B side presence now, neutralized.
And G2 not going to get baited into getting into this C-side exec. Nades are going to break some of the thorns, and that pressure applied is going to keep the attention of NRG there. And perhaps they try to go for something with some of that Sentinel utility down.
Such patience here from Baby. He's expecting, obviously, there to be a corner spam attempt. Brock's going to make a rotation here up towards that upper side. Does get a dink on the way in. Jaw is struggling. Mata's been able to pick up Leaf here now, and Brock will find his moment to swing on it just as Mata emerges. It is real hard to get past this wall. And Baby now is going to be crunched.
Even down a player, NRG do a great job working around the map there. Mata gets a crucial kill, picking off Leaf, who's going to go for that backstab through A. So he can immediately just get into Baby Door to help the team. And in the meantime, we were on Brock's POV. We see the game plan is to commit to hold this site, right? He pushes past the smoke. He's up there in heaven with the Odin spraying. And Mata getting that kill on Leaf just completely opens up the ability to flood onto that site and keep G2 just contained within the little kind of pit area. They have no space to work with, no time to work with. So great job from NRG to bring it back.
Such a slow burn round up until that point where G2 execute on a B and a cut down.
I'll find you.
This time as well, they're pretty tentative. Of course, this deep smoke over towards this mound area means they've got to slow it down.
As always on the defense, you're going to see some of that Vice utility just scattered around multiple sites. Oh, wow, that time, yeah, Leaf a little bit of revenge. That's a nice snap onto Mata.
The north to south flick mechanically is brutal to pull off.
And in the meantime, look at G2 just prodding towards this C side, trying to get this utility out from the Vice. The shear wall is gone,
They got it,
and
yeah.
because of Mata's death close up, Ethan is forced to get back towards A, use a Prowler, try to re-clear. They need info elsewhere.
But much like in the previous round, NRG probably don't mind funneling G2 in that B direction if they can. G2 might still fancy going over towards the C side, especially with the shear wall being cleared. It's Jaw in. And the window too small for Scuba to find Jaw as he crosses over. No, the next wave might be an opportunity. He's going to be spammed out from within the smoke.
And now Brock is just forced on out of here.
30 seconds left.
This is some pretty sick mid-round play from G2. Just watching them dismantle this defensive setup slowly and then working into the execute. Not rushing through any of this util, not allowing Brock's setup to get any value there.
But it requires them to win out on the A side of the map. Otherwise, they're put on a timer immediately. It all falls apart if that loose end doesn't find success. Trouble here. Yeah, that's a high-low setup, which is
cover going out.
Astonishingly nerdy to put that together here. NRG want to maintain those weapons, and I don't think Trent fancies an overstep himself. Nico isolated here, at least able to pick him up. And you can already see this Odin by Broad being carried well and truly across the map, tucked by Dree here. That is some snappy shooting again from Jaw.
Yeah, that's tough for NRG. Only the one gun carried over. See how they adjust the setup here after G2 have found a lot of success over towards that C side, just getting rid of the util. This is insane. Insane. And look at how they deal with Scuba here. They have the Nightfall that goes towards the right side of the site. A nade goes through towards Bend, and then Valen is able to teleport forward, and Scuba has really only got one place he's going to be if there was a player Bend, right?
We've got a hot dog already.
Finally, we were waiting for one. Yeah, we were waiting all day for a hot. So frequent with him. He's having some of the best games he's had all year as of late. But right now, ranked #2 in pretty much all of the relevant stats across the board in these playoffs.
Who's #1, by the way?
It's Kiko.
Okay, well.
And it's mostly on his Phoenix. I'm interested to see how much he can get done on the Omen. Obviously, his controller has been solid, but his Phoenix has been the takeover agent.
Kiko gets exploratory here. The mound is smoked out. But he's not really buying it for a second. And Brook also wants to play up a little bit further now. Oh, that's another win for Leaf on the A side of the map. That is huge.
Yeah, the Leaf Mata minigame over on A has been all Leaf in the past 2 rounds. And again, this is just going to be cause for concern for NRG that G2 can be working up A for free. A lot of damage on Kiko there, but he sees them on the retreat, and it looks like that is going to encourage NRG to try and get their players stacked more towards this A side. You can see the rotate coming through on the minimap.
There's not going to be any stairs presence for the defenders. This might start to accelerate pretty quickly here for G2. Yep. Boombot sent forward now. Prowler went into Baby Door, and again, you're crossing too quickly here for Brook's Odin to get anything done, and that is a stinker from Scuba. Doesn't really have the weaponry to dominate here. And Brook finally is forced to give up the LMG.
30 seconds left.
Jogamo is just patient on that wrap. He wants more. He's just hungry for kills at this point. Ethan gets the late trade, and one that's probably going to be irrelevant. Low HP, 1 versus 3, has to deal with the Odin.
Yeah, very much this is junk time kills. We talked about G2's attack side, though. That has been relatively above reproach. Such meticulous mid-rounding from them. But both of these last 2 rounds have been spurred on because their lurk player wins his duel. Leave quietly the engine room for G2.
And that one just to catch on the jump spot with the Outlaw. Smart to bring it into that round. Save the economy. Yeah, tough for Scuba there.
One enemy remaining.
Nice clean there for Valorant. Jaw at 6 and 2. He's got his showstopper at the ready.
They are terrifying.
And NRG at least can buy back into this one now, so Scuba can actually have a real weapon.
Where are you?
Might be an A-pop here, straight off the rip. Okay, something more aggressive. Valen's going to see Mana close, and they're not ready for this. NRG so conditioned to the slow early rounds from G2, they are caught off guard. Let's tune in as G2 try and land the plane.
Spike down A.
I'm gonna lurk here and you leave.
Pop Thorn B early.
Yeah, I think he rotated already.
Listen, it's Fade, Viper, AJ.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay. You guys should leave.
Here's the thing, dude.
Make a new event and then come back to me maybe.
There's a wall somewhere. You see the beard?
Wall should be
C.
He's gonna just leave the wall, I'm pretty sure, boys.
Yeah.
He's gonna be playing the other one.
I'm fishing B.
Yeah, do it.
Can't be break, right?
No.
So wall here. I'm in
No
B.
wall.
Walled up.
I'm gonna yourself, okay?
Careful.
Try to
Just
stand
hold,
off
just
you.
hold. So we have time.
When wall
We're
goes-
in.
Baby Boy here trying to operate on this off angle. Valen said maybe rattle the cage and come back to me. There could be a transition through Baby Door for G2. Potentially. Leaf looking to try and stick this now. 3-player flood potentially out from this direction, but the Razorvine is perfectly apportioned for this.
Yeah, they have to wait for that cloud to drop. Valen is waiting to see if someone's going to go around Baby Door. Not the case. Everyone from NRG right up front.
Scuba, big round for him so far. Leaf is barely alive, and Valen's not very much better either. He's going to have to go now 1v2 with 21 points of health and a seize that he barely dodges. He might have a timing. Ethan trying to get the stick on the defuse, but Brock has him covered. Fast start for G2, and NRG looked like they took a while to adapt, but when they did, Scuba emerges with 3.
Yeah, great recovery and a little bounce back for Scuba after the whiffs on the last round. Quick little redemption from him. This was a good fight out from G2. No one on NRG were able to break the haunt that was thrown up top. Mata is in the struggle zone on this A side right now.
That is sick.
One enemy remaining.
Or at least his third kill wasn't spam. Kind of insane that G2 just gets snarled up as they're trying to cross rubble and lose 2.
Yeah, it was cool to hear the way that G2 were trying to dissect the map to work into towards that B side. It all worked out, but NRG able to win those fights on the retake. Leaf is back to the Outlaw over on this A side. Yeah, Mata wants to adjust his line of play here. Feels like he just needs to mix things up a little bit. The standard approach towards that A side has not been giving him the results. So
G2 aren't really committed towards Mound yet, though, so they can double back to assist Baby Bay.
Yeah, and so this time on the setup, NRG with that Judge pressed up towards B, they can just keep the wall, Thorns, Rose on the C side. Mata, if he needs to try to escape, he can, and then get behind a Thorns on the B side as well. So this side of the map is pretty adequately covered from NRG.
This might require a little bit more fishing, as Baby Bay put it, to occur on this A side of the map. Prowlers exchange here. There'll be confirmation from NRG that no one is pushed up too deep from G2. That is a tucked corner from Scuba, so Leaf will not be able to see him.
You can see Mata's actually drifted over his position. Posted up now in blue room with the Judge.
30
Feels like
seconds
they
left.
have the right idea here.
G2 have read the econ. They might not want to be running in here like this. So, okay, Overdrive. He's going to claim Trent. He runs headlong into it here. The spike in hand as well. Awkward. Clear. The G2 are trying to make a cancel and go towards that B side of the map. Good timing for Scuba there. Nice damage as well. Valen dropped low, and that's exactly what Brock needs to finish the job.
It's just like the second you're trying to rotate back to the left side of the map. Oh, and yeah, Odin's waiting for you on the angle every single time. Brock is just usually going to be favoring that C side, and you know it, and eventually you have to face the demons and go deal with him with the Odin. You're trying to pivot back towards that side of the map.
The biggest difference on this map is just a general slowdown from NRG on that A side. They're not exposing themselves to the Outlaw early. They're not looking to get up towards Leaf at all. In fact, they just sat Scuba back in that A side.
Yeah, credit to Mata as well for shifting the position at the right time and getting that great first kill with the overdrive.
Still waiting.
But he is back to that A side, Mata, taking the space. Won't be in the 1v1 Leaf Vortex on this round.
To be fair, more manageable this time around as the aforementioned has only a stinger. Jaws, feet will be seen crossing. Okay, well he's able to draw the sheer wall out and also draw the fire from Brock, so that's confirmation.
That's a win, gets the orb. And you can see just in terms of the NRG defense, because of Mata's position, they're able to just set up 2 players on either side. There's Vice Util on either side if the hit comes through. But so far, we have not seen G2 trying to execute any kind of timing like this. It has been more patient into these later rounds.
Oh, Mata's... Can he fall off
On
this
the jump
line?
spot, yeah, he's just got to run. The door is open, so he is safe and out of there.
Could have been much worse for NRG. They still have 5 standing. Now, though, can they get towards that A side quickly enough? Not upper, but it's going to be Lee into B.
Yeah, NRG have called that rotation very quickly. Look at the positions on the map. It's fantastic.
Do they think there's a swing over towards that B side, or they're trying to get upper presence? It looks like it's the latter here is looking Joy. He's very deep early, but the Prowler spots him out.
Forced away, so heavy control is there for NRG. They're trying to float out of stairs together. Good first kill from Baby Bay and a second.
Whoa, Brook! Okay, yep, Trent gets in with the classic Steel Garden.
Look at this timing right now from Valen on the rewrap coming through Heaven.
Bear in mind, this is a half-bought round for G2. Multiple stingers in the mix.
This is such a game of timings right now.
Oh, I think Trent's in trouble.
Enemy remaining.
Okay, Scuba. Recovery was there.
Oh, they know where he's at now because of that paranoia drop from Valentine. He's getting low, though.
I like the smoke being thrown down here. Valen has something to spam through now. Scuba and Ethan healthy enough. And as far as the defuse is concerned, they're just fine.
With that molly coming, definitely complicates Valen's hopes of trying to win out that clutch, but I like the attempt with like the one-way floating smoke swing out. Cool usage of the util, but not enough in that situation. NRG are getting the right rotations around the map in another round here. You can see that there's a timing that Brock is catching of rotating off of C and always being pivotal in the fight with the Odin over on the opposite side of the map. Like, he's not getting ever...
To remind G2 of who they are. Brock's still going to have the Odin. There might be like another early push out towards this A side of the map. Last time it was Trent's Haunt that set things up and things still fell apart for G2 after the fact.
So Luke just throwing down that cloud to get the safe cross. And is able to sidestep a lot of the spam from NRG, and they are aware of where the Odin is. Brock's just shifted up towards this A side because they have the pit over on C.
Pretty insane pressure there for Leaf. Good damage on Brook, but Mata waited for Valen to show up, and that's your Odin down. So now you don't have a nice little smoke to cover that stairs direction. You're really relying on this toxic screen.
I'm just going to tuck for a moment. No matter what happens to this guy, he will always keep playing with the confidence. That's a hallmark of him as a player. The amount of times we saw last year, he'd have a struggle first half, then completely bounce back, drop an ace in the second half, and finish with 20 kills.
Yep. Yeah, and he really has 2 bad maps back-to-back either. It's just not a thing. So there's the Viper's Pit over at the seaside. That's what's giving G2 pause at the moment. They do have their fade over there, but playing into that obviously is a very dangerous proposition, especially if my eyes don't deceive me. Is that a shield wall in there?
Yeah, there's a lot of util here to help Scuba and G2. Wow, oh my god, he just goes down anyway.
That's insane. Scuba just... We didn't have a lot to help him there at all. Maybe wasn't expecting the flood from G2.
NRG are so fast to try to get to this site right now. They're already posted up in Waterfall. Relay bolt. Mata's trying to get forward. Baby Bay not with an opportunity for the kill just yet.
Did say Mata's alive here, but look at things getting slowed down a little bit. Kiko and Ethan, though, are going to fall. Brock still with the Odin on the line. Baby Bay, magnetic crosshairs. Mata falls soon after. That was a little bit squeaky bum, though, for G2, I won't lie.
Yeah, no, Dre is the hero in that round. Coming up with a kill on Scuba, just not even a trade. He just straight up entries him. Is crazy. Oh, the haunt. Yeah, just catches him in the pit. They were providing Scuba with the wall as well, had a thorns to play with. Brutal. What a round from Dre, though.
I mean, Dre was at the time, bro. He had his crosshair on the Razorvine. He was not looking.
That was a
6 from Trent.
Low buy for G2 as well. Now it's Trent with the Odin on the attack side. All out fight here from NRG with the teleport up top, and it's just caught by Leaf.
He's just so confident playing out in his direction on the A side of the map. NRG are being gunned down. Then we got the Viper over on this side of the map, but Jaw is in hot pursuit.
You just gotta love the draw raise, man. It's just so fun on this agent, getting to play it a lot more recently in the state of the meta with where the duelists are heading, especially with the Neon nerfs. Raze is just way more relevant. The map will consider it as well.
I wonder if this starts encouraging G2 to like lean into the volatility of that early round A pop, because that was phenomenal from them. The crossfires were perfect.
Yeah, I kind of want to see on the. I need to see on the replay what happened from their point of view. If that was like a straight spam kill they got onto some of the players, one of the players at least crossing as well, or maybe they saw him before, like just before he went past one of the smokes. It's hard to tell on the Leaf POV exactly. But regardless of that, Kiko just gets killed on the teleport right away. Didn't seem like there was any haunt value that gets broken insta.
So long, Sabine.
Yeah, Leaf just wandering into the crosshairs of Brock. He will be allowed for now to hold on to that hardware. The rest of NRG, though, are going to be scrounging. Coming to round number 11. G2 get up to 6. Beautiful start to the round.
Wow, that's... I mean, I can't believe the...
Huh?
What? Amada's caught on the cross there. Yeah, one of them was just straight spam with Ethan going down. Amada getting caught on the crosshair is insane. He was stunned up and then just satchels into the chase and kills Scuba. That's crazy.
Yo, I'm.
That's a real hot dog difference today compared to yesterday.
I'm not gonna lie.
We're like at +3 hot dogs compared to yesterday already, bro.
Spirits are high for a good reason. That was kind of nasty work from Leaf. Getting the horn and getting rid of Gio. Here come NRG, really looking to try and occupy some space here via Mount. Those smokes have expired and they're still here. This could get a little bit dangerous now. Paranoia as G2 looking to clear this space, but NRG dive into B main.
Oh, little chance for Mata, but that's a tough shot to hit.
He was seen though. Mata detected. Look at G2, they all cancel out of the C side.
They got the info. Yeah, NRG just going for the big C fight with the Vice setup over towards A. Mata is playing as aggro as it can get. He really wants to get a kill with this Guardian on the low buy round, and you definitely cannot blame him, but...
Well, he's definitely gotten some attention.
So yeah, absolutely. Look at this. I mean, he's constantly refighting angles, trying to switch up the positioning. Baby Bay is ready on that little jiggle peek, deletes him from this round.
G2 know that there's no shield wall over on the C side. They checked that spot. So with the player advantage, re-hitting back into that side might seem like the better option.
Left.
It's a weak buy for NRG. Still got to respect these crossfire positions. Here's George. Showstopper. No connection. Scuba wrecks him. Who's the follow-up? Yes, out of the smoke. Surely there'd be some presence from G2, but they've been stopped in their tracks here. Again.
It's a great Nightfall, but Leaf is just constantly exposing solo players.
10 seconds
At the B
left.
site, wide open, low time, doesn't matter. G2 are just collecting the kills across the map now with ease. Baby Bay for the last.
Cobra.
Another 3-piece. That was a risk taken using the Nightfall. Can't really be mad at it in that round. Time was low. Things were getting a bit chaotic. Maybe NRG could take advantage of that, but it's not enough.
Based on what you've seen from G2 in the last few rounds, can you guess at what Josh
10
might have told them in that timeout?
One enemy remaining.
What he might have, I mean,
Yeah.
no. I was thinking about something completely different. And I was about to make a point about how good Leaf has been, and then, no.
Got him. In fairness, though, you're right. Leaf exposing that B player, opening that up as an option. That was sick. And now he's going to walk up. Okay! Coming out of that one alive is pretty insane. Great use of that op. Obviously now can hand that over. Jaw has one. Baby Bear has one. Okay. Last round of the half, I guess. And they can wait for any kind of contact push, but those have been limited on the C side of the map.
Little prowler out from NRG, doesn't get any info towards that B side. They can be content now just rotating off and leaving Kiko to watch main. And it's just been so tough for Mata on this half. Really getting exposed over towards that A side.
In general, G2 have been phenomenal at converting these first kills, Wyatt. Still guarded. Nightfall even used here. That one's up back towards Hall, so that one is going to catch on to Brook, and all he can really do is spam to try and stop this. Now, G2 can play a full natty 5-man post plant with a Viper's Pit and a Partridge in the pear tree.
Kiko already getting decayed down. How can they even make it through this pit, man? They don't have the util to do it. Good first kill up top at the very least.
Paranoia coming in, though. This is disruptive. Oh, the Horde, that's a problem. Kiko dropped down to 9. It's a little bit dangerous now. It's Baby Bay's thinking about pushing. Ethan, though, delivers for him. They're so low. Scuba and Kiko seen better days. Some heroics there from Scuba yields him the kill. But Trent is probing now with this Odin. And imagine a stray bullet eventually connects. Kiko falls and G2 will get themselves to 8 rounds on this attack side.
Really, despite how fantastic NRG typically are on defense, it really felt like in this instance, G2 had the recipe in terms of getting rid of the util, being able to find openings cross-map while they were depleting a lot of the Vice util throughout the half. Leaf was really the pivotal factor for me. The amount of lurk kills that he was getting to get sites open late or just finding the openings on Mata early. Really the most impactful person in the server on that first half for me.
Can't ask for a better showcase of that Valorant mid-round tack side. Kind of figure out another later on NRG. Get ahead by 4 rounds.
We'll see if they can just close this out. I don't know how much talk there is about Lotus being the attack side kind of map it once used to be. Doesn't feel as relevant as it once did. G2 on this round at the least. They're going to have Baby Bay just set up with the Vice stuff over towards A.
Toxins going up.
And his job is just going to be to delay and to live. And then G2 try to play for a floater retake. Maybe you can get a kill in the process. That'd be great. But really, the Vice job in these situations, just not die.
Sheer wall placed for this flood out of tree. So that's going to buy a pretty healthy amount of time. This might see a rotation back across for NRG, but Baby Bay's caught. As Kiko makes sure he keeps an eye on the prize.
NRG, with the time on the clock, they're comfortable just going away elsewhere right now. Feeling like it's extremely likely they've drawn the rotate. When the Vice is playing there, they're going to try to flood back into assists, so let's just go as fast as we can somewhere else. And they have the right read on the situation. This C site is completely free. Now they just have to close things out with the man advantage, trade things out effectively.
Oh, G2 still busy re-clearing, eventually able to push her on that A side, but this is probably exactly how NRG drew it up. They will be having to look in 2 different directions here, because slowly through halls, Valorant is looking to get set up with that paranoia that he actually uses just to clear the close corner. But he's in a decent spot now, at least. Oh, that's nasty stuff by Trent there. Scuba actually fell off the line, wasn't in a position. Timing again just not really favoring NRG. Valorant's looking to try and make his way in, and Hawk be damned, he's going for it. Scuba, though, doubles down. And that's enough to shut the door on G2 in this pistol.
That is just some high-quality team fighting from NRG, being able to stuff G2 with the choke there, but a good prior little understanding of what was happening in the round, making that fast pivot back towards C, and Baby Bay getting exposed. You really just can't be going down in that situation as the Vice. It's just a little bit too important to play a bit more passive position there, I feel. That's giving NRG the opening.
We call him the wall on defense, but we know his NRG team can pull a rabbit out of a hat on maps like Lotus. Both these teams only 1 loss over the course of this stage. NRG with 3 big wins, including a 13-4 over Furia. We are walking straight up into this B side. NRG unlikely to finish here, though. It means that they can take a nasty angle on some of these other sides. And there's a crossfire set up for C main here, but
That's
already.
Freeze kill of all time, and now they just have to deal with Leaf. It's pretty funny from NRG. They just discover the shear wall is not a B. What if we just all silently walk through? And it works. Nice free little round. Maybe see if Ethan can get a couple kills going, try and get it close towards the nightfall, but
and these teams have kept their pistol win rates even now. I think they're like 19 and 18. But importantly, NRG building back into the game. Yet to really see what G2 has for us on defense. It was the defense side yesterday that seemed to be a problem for them, where there were a lot of nerves, a lot of discomfort from that Leviathan team who wanted to play quiet, cut noise midway through the round.
Go, go, go!
G2 just going to go down to the spike, not give any orbs away. NRG will be able to bring everything over into this next round where they have an Odin on the round 2, have a rifle on the round 2. This bonus buy is about to have some potency to it. Doesn't
look
feel
like a bonus.
Yep. In fact, it's just not a bonus. They just have basically a straight up buy on some heavy armors.
There's no rule ability on G2's side to punish that. Okay, so it looks like it'll be just NRG looking to work this A side wall, play slow maybe around Mound. I think Valon's going to have his wits about him here. Early horn off the rip, the usual stuff. Valon does not want to risk anything on the C side.
see how proactive Scuba opts to get over towards A, kind of in comparison to Leaf. Check in on the impact that both of these Vipers are having on the game. Early on NRG, you're just going to want to put a lot of emphasis on getting some of this Vice util off of the map.
NRG, you imagine, have already checked that C choke for a shear. Didn't find one, still didn't want to fully commit there. Very lightly held A side. Look at this, really no map control being assumed by Leaf on this A side at all. We go NRG, leaving that insert, watching B main.
Just waiting for the wall drop to send out the Prowler, and now they can work up towards this A side. Leaf still just has the Molly to play with, a little bit of delay. He's going to need some help, though. G2 players are spread pretty thin across the map at the moment.
30 seconds left.
I mean, by contrast, NRG were basically all stairs at this point. So G2 not convinced that this isn't a fake. Trent holding a very tight line.
Time is getting really low, but it's all good because NRG can just take this pivot towards the B side. Though there will be players from G2 trying to contest. This is Jaw trying to get in, but he is paranoid up. Good counter utility from NRG, but they still need to get this spike down.
Yeah, it's getting hectic now. 6 seconds left of the round. Ethan trying to get this stick, but from upper, Valen might try and emerge. It's being covered pretty well, though. Babybay trying to break on in. The spike is down, and now G2 have to go to work. In a 2v3, Ethan's going to be playing close here, and Valen's mindful of this. He can't expose him too much to main, and he gets around the corner. It's not a kill that Babybay can trade, and it's not a risk he can afford to take.
It's a good read from NRG, the pivot into B at the last moment, and just having all of that utility ready to send out for the G2 potential flood from heaven. Really the only, or rather the most relevant lane for them to cover when they're getting back in towards the B side.
Feels like they had to. I think that shield wall that Babybay put down at A would have made it impossible to plant that site.
Yeah, both teams just out of necessity playing a very patient attack side game. Just never able to rush anything against the comps that we're seeing in the server right now. You can't overplay into the Vice.
But these teams were,
you know, they're both masters of the comp and understand how to poke holes into it.
It did take both these rosters a while to pick up the double duelists and actually start trying that in this stage. I mean, correlation or causation, they're also the two teams that went 0 and 2 here in stage 1 before they made insane runs. 1 round separates these two, though. NRG have virtually completed the comeback. G2 are down to very little.
And at least on this map, neither of them had to worry about the double duelist because it's really just not as good as comp that, or either of the comps that these teams are running. Pick your duelist. See if G2 can get anything accomplished, even just do some damage to NRG on this round because the economy is really getting out of control with the attack side team.
Seize nade?
Yeah, a little seize nade. Try to deny someone if they're working up towards the orb, but NRG just sidestep all of that util. They're unscathed.
Milling around over at that rubble area eventually, though. NRG no. They're going to have to get forward. Extra tree presence here for G2. With these close stingers, and Valen's barely able to get away. Hit with the paranoia, but able to fall back onto the side. It'll be tough for him to win any of those key fights here and now. Yeah, Trent is blinded and revealed. And NRG say we might wrap around here, maybe catch someone lingering out by stairs. We've seen this work before. Dive in towards the B side, in fact. Kiko has fallen. Hard to canvas this B side with smokes, especially that upper area. And there's a chance for a double swing from G2 to disrupt. Timing for Babybay is pretty good, and he's got the key rifle here. And he's putting it to work. He would have needed a bit more, but he's a classic. And it's down to Scuba. All of a sudden, a round you feel is guaranteed for NRG. Rests on one player.
Obviously knows the position on Leaf, who is on the run towards this C side. The noise cut from Scuba might work out, but Trent is prepped on that angle. Easy one tap to close it out. Ethan can't convert that kill, trying to adjust the aim onto Leaf in main, gets 2-tapped by the Classic.
That may as well have been a thrifty wide. I think it was just Babybay with the Vandal.
Ridiculous. Babybay has been able to get the significant multi-kill rounds in this game for G2. Leaf has had like the high-impact individual ones, and Dre's given those
2 share of kills, and Babybay, of course, making great use of the hero rifle.
Baby Bay is just, I mean, we talked about this so much yesterday in the game against Lead, but he has just been really, really stand out for this G2 team the entire stage. For me, their best player easily. Switching to this Vice, plays the chamber on one map. He really just feels at home. You can just tell how comfortable he is in the role right now.
So let's head into NRG. They're trying to hit this C side. They might have to wait though.
Can you use any util? I want to re-walk in and see. Do you have a bully smoke?
Yeah, I have another bullet.
Yeah, bully smoke after this.
Can we just hit on them? Can we just hit?
Go.
I'm down. I'm stunning pillar.
Ulting right, ulting right.
Wait, yes, I'm
Could be Ben,
flash.
could be Ben.
Tethering bend at him.
Flash,
One
yeah,
right
yeah,
side, one right side.
I'm alone.
Adam, I'm flashing. You ready? Flash.
Go.
Two from B.
Hold.
Coming with you, Adam.
Red dead.
Close left.
Boys, go C.
It's close left, close
Madam,
left.
madam. They're gonna flood out water. Guys, counter spam water, please.
I hear you.
Counter spam.
Yep. Okay, one more farm B.
I got bomb down. How long on Gunsmoke?
NRG, they do a good job circumventing that util. They get into the site. Don't feel heavy impact from Baby Bay's Vice, and the Steel Guard are not relevant because he's down. They don't have a lot of space here, though. They're not able to work forward. NRG love to do that, but right now they can't. The Haunt is great, though, to even things up, or rather trade things out.
They're still going to play into this Odin, though. And look at how low Ethan and Marta both have become. This is getting dangerous there. Ethan for 2. That's huge. Trent, though, has...
Pie Watch done, buddy.
That's over.
Pie Watch is over with the 2-piece.
Trent had 2 players in the side. One more out to try and deal with, and he decides to call it on this one. G2 surge up, try and take space on that C side, and lose 2 players in a heartbeat to Ethan.
I always love how NRG are able to play on this C side. Even in the rounds where you're not able to get the forward space as the team that they would like to, they're so good at being able to find the kills in the team fight backside in these situations as well.
Very nice. Give me some.
We got to listen to the comms in that round as well. You saw it was... At one point...
Keep applying pressure even if they lose rounds right now. Even if it's, okay, it's a round loss, but we get the ults out from G2, they can keep buying in the future.
So it's just the Odin here with G2, like you mentioned, being in a rough economic position. Trent obviously hoping for some free damage here. I've seen this spot many times before. Trent here sees the door toggled.
Bring them down.
I've seen NRG go for this before. Some tree presence, draw some util, and then dive on that B side of the map. But look at, you see Jorgo's playing a little bit further forward. Brook actually is taken down by that spam. Deep there over towards Rubble, he's fallen. Showstopper for Jaw, he might see an opportunity to press a little bit harder, but Scuba's also fallen. This might just be a little bit too slow for NRG. They're pressuring the side of the map where the Odin is now. They're down to 3. Jaw somehow alive amidst all of this pressure.
Yeah, just getting stunned up doesn't matter. Mata finally gets one back, just straight spam. Okay, and Jaw goes down as well. Sure.
Now this round's looking and feeling a little bit different.
Yeah, NRG just hoping to pause and see if they could find some kills. They do. Just Valen caught right behind that smoke, unfortunately. 30 seconds left on the clock,
30
and all the
seconds
space at A is just acquiesced by NRG. If they work towards this B side, they have to deal with Thorns. They have to be concerned as well that that could be the case towards C.
They just don't know at this point. This is a straight-up gamble by NRG.
And with time getting so low, this Molly is going to be a factor. The Steel Garden from Baby Bay is going to be a factor. There are 8 seconds, and they have to plant this spike.
Marta going to be hit by the molly. Able to get clear of it, though, as he goes for the plant. And, well, Leaf just goes straight for the plant spot. Look at this chase. Okay.
Doesn't matter. They couldn't get the spike down. It was just enough delay from Leaf.
I think that was the molly. Marta had to slide past the normal plant spot onto the side itself.
Yeah, and then he was trying to tuck like for the plant from Mouse.
Did he get off the plant because Leaf pushed him? I'm not sure if he got off of it. Well, that's a thrifty, by the way. Another one. Starts with these spam kill here for Trent. Jaw finds one off a showstopper. And then there's 2 bizarre spam kills through this toxic screen.
This was such a good ult from Jaw. Able to survive in the corners. That was at 10 seconds. That goes down.
He got off it. Yeah.
Oh, that's devastating.
I kind of get it. I mean, it takes a lot of trust to expect your teammate just to pick that frag up for you. All right, Valen wants to fight here. And the paint shell back in that corner definitely gave Marta a bit of a tickle. He is extremely low. He crossed, but he's down to 14.
He's down off the one-way. Mata weak, Brock weak. It's proactivity from G2 in the mound fight. pivotal right now in the early round. Oh, and Kiko sticks that teleport. Caught by Trent, trying to get some space in the A site for the team, who now have nothing to work with. Getting stalled out by Vice, Util. And oh my god, Dre is there for the kill as well.
Joy can pick this up now, low as he is.
Feels like textbook Lotus in this round from G2, and Josh should just be the nail in the coffin on this wrap timing. It is perfect.
You mentioned how NRG was still able to buy into some of these tough situations, but eventually that's going to dwindle and it might run out at the worst possible moment.
Yeah, G2 there just taking that C mound fight early, putting the numbers there, and forces NRG away. They lose a lot of HP. They try to quickly go over towards the A side, and they're into the Odin. They're dealing with the Vice Util. That's just exactly how you want these rounds to play out as the defensive team here on Lotus.
Ramada's got no choice but to think toward the next. We've not really seen the fast play out of the A side here from NRG, or rather, at least, we've not seen the teams clash in that part of the map. And NRG did try and throw in a mound fight variation on their defense side, but G2 just were playing so carefully on their attack side, they didn't walk into it. G2, 2 away from taking their map pick of Lotus.
It's just that early fight, kind of util dump, and Ethan caught behind that one way. Trent just gets a little bit out of the vision range from the ult.
One enemy
That
remaining.
late push out from Jaw, essentially sealing the deal.
Yep, exactly as G2 would have hoped in that round. Just forcing NRG to run right into the Odin and the Vice util setup to try to get out of this A side early. Maybe a little teleport across the rubble. Deep haunt. And there shouldn't really be too much contention from G2. Maybe a little bit of spam, but that'd be all. It's just relatively fake with some of those audio cues, like the teleport, but in reality, they're just leaving Mata there on the A side. They do their best to make it seem like there could be a few players here, though, from NRG working out.
Yeah, so ultimately, this early round comes with a pretty strong default flavor. Scuba holds the line towards B main. And the most active part of NRG is those that are trying to clear their way into Mount. Mata going to be spotted out here, also Haunted. Trying to cross, it's a dangerous game.
Yeah, gets out of there, didn't have a fast lane to get the cross, but the wall comes up, and that's enough for him to get to safety. G2 do a great job at re-clearing rubble just a little bit later into the round. But NRG want to, after, you know, having Mata on the retreat, get back into the space.
NRG didn't show themselves at C, which also means they didn't clear the sheer wall or any of that Vice util. So later on, that could be a problem. Kiko downed. That's a backbreaker for NRG.
That's just the Jogmo intuition with the spam. 30 seconds left on the clock. They have to get into this site against Trent with the Odin. He's on the run, trying to get out of the Seal Garden range. Nightfall to delay.
Trying to Baby Door. Leafs able to find one. That should be enough here. Baby Babe ready to receive. Trying to get ahead of those relay bolts. Brought down by Ethan. Great flash.
He's forced out in the open because of that bolt. That's nice, but Mata, he's hungry for more, wants to get the advantage, and he goes down. Now it's all on Ethan.
And he's done. It's going to be multi-swung into to get G2 up to 12. And a disastrous situation economically for NRG as they're trying to hold on in this game with very little to work with. And this would be G2's 11th straight map win against NRG if they win here. It has been a hot minute since they've dropped one over to these guys.
One enemy remaining. Spike planted.
Great job closing it out on that round. This G2 team are just so good on Lotus and bouncing back immediately after the loss yesterday. It feels like it just didn't even really happen.
It feels like they're really they're keeping their energy contained a little bit, G2. No one's standing up. Even Dre is just like, he's keeping it.
It is a BO5.
Yeah.
You can't get too crazy.
I like that concerted effort, though, at sort of pacing themselves.
Look at that. Kiko teleports a little bit forward so he doesn't get hit by that C's nade.
Nightfall going to be stepped away from here by Jorgamo. Kiko's actually found Valorant amidst this. Mata's low on a slide forward there. Satchel thrown in. Trent now to spam him down. You've got to watch out for the Odin from inside tree. Oh, buddy, it's ugly. Ethan knocked down to 9. They've got to now try and overwhelm that tree position. And for now, Trent's going to be a little bit solid. But Baby Bay always picks up one in the mid-round. Kiko handled. Jordy doesn't quite meet the mark. As Brock and Ethan are alive, the word alive is doing some heavy lifting.
One enemy remaining.
Eds was down to 1. Ethan, quiet map for him. Struggled to really get going in that first half. Finally commanding some attention here, but NRG generally a little lackluster here on Lotus. And Ethan, the last to fall. G2 lock it up. Some timely timeouts, get them back to winning ways. And they're keeping it calm, cool, collected. They know this could be a slog.
Feels kind of win, well, easy for me to say, win rates when we get into this again. It's still even, man.
Yep, 20-18.
Get even.
They traded him in the last game. Getting to see our number 1 player for ACS, ADR, and KPR in playoffs, Kiko, back on a duelist. Should be a treat. Alright, Valorant. Simply rattling the cage on that A side. Already. Spike pretty deep over towards this B side now. And Hugh might not have a way to get himself back into the side. He is going to be caught out and forced to fall back around wall.
Spike planted.
He's in some serious danger right now in Operation Stay Alive and wait for your teammates to get there in time. But this little nebula popping up will give him a moment of safety. Unless Baby Bay decides to push into this. Oh, the timing's weird.
This re-explore towards the elbow as well could be big. Baby Bay's going to be caught out. Flashed out. Completely full flash. Scuba, what a place! He's found a little bit of a niche here and a chance at least to get a kill in this round.
Yeah, 1-for-1 gets the info on another player. That's solid, but time is getting low, and eventually NRG need to defuse this spike.
Man, it really has been a game of timing so far. Jaw finds 1 just to walk up around that mid pillar, but time is short.
Just now, they're getting a tap, and they're up against an Astro. There's a grab well they have to deal with.
Oh, and no chance to make use of it, though, for Leaf there, but still.
Doesn't matter. Does not matter. G2 can just play to the clock. That's one of the benefits of having the Astra on this map, for instance, just getting a late grab well like that. And very disruptive in the post plant too with that double rewrap through tunnel. I like that a lot. I think that's a very important piece of playing attack against these big like harbor retake comps right now on Breeze. Over on that B side, you need players ready to be rewrapping or playing forward, doing things that are way more proactive. Because when we see the teams just getting cut off on the site on the retakes, that's when they're crumbling, you know, in the post plants after they've gotten that spike down.
Yes, Scuba was looking for a new rat spot immediately. I respect it. And then we heard that same laugh from Leaf when he scared Marta off the plant. Already quite a nuisance in those post plants, and time is short. Change of tact here for G2. They certainly don't want to be walking into uncovered corners this round, so they're waiting for a push-up. But frankly well, it's just not going to come.
Yeah, NRG have a setup that would be great for dealing with a player that might come through elbow, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case unless...
G2 certainly considered it. Might just be early and all into B. Trent Aldrone checks that close corner. Nova Pulse as well on the left just to make sure no one sat there. There's going to be a walk up here, but the firing squad has left this position. It doesn't matter. The aim punch was brutal for Baby Bay.
Yeah, you're not trying to give a fight like that, even when he has a classic to Kiko on Breeze on the jet. Look at this fast refight off the pop flash. Crazy from Trent. But I like this proactivity we're seeing from NRG on the classics round.
Hey, what?
God.
That is across mid. That is...
All right, buddy. That was a silly little wall with the pocket for Scuba to play in. He gets red.
Train here, those able to play that edge of the cove comfortably. And yeah, this round got a little bit silly. A little bit wild at times. And now Marta has given away his position.
We'll see if he can do any damage at all, but pretty sick from Kiko. Already just a little tease of how good he has been on this map. Evidently, with any gun, any position, doesn't really matter. His jet is just outrageous.
Marta had his hands off the hardware for a moment there. I think that tells you everything you need to know about his intentions in these last seconds.
Also just worth saying in general that it feels like this NRG win streak that they're on of 6 matches in a row, things turn around when Kiko is playing more of the duelist, when he's picking up the Phoenix on a lot of the maps, and they've had success here on Breeze as well, winning the majority of their games. I think 3-1 on this map with him playing Jet. Just the versatility that this guy has, being able to play the controller and the duelist for them both at a high level, but the duelist has really taken NRG over the top.
Insta-dink.
Out of charges.
Yeah, Trent just flashed out. Ethan gets the refight into
It's
that
crazy.
race.
He just gets the random tap headshot kill, but
One enemy remaining.
we're seeing moments in a round like this that I think can give you some hope, though, in NRG as to how they're going to be playing on this map. You're liking that proactivity. You're liking the forward-thinking approach, always going for something, looking for advantages.
Nova Pulse denied the close-up angle on those boxes. You see that coved out. This is looking eerily like A main on this map.
So there's a pop flash thrown down mid for Kiko to get out there. Doesn't spot anyone, and that's going to cause NRG, though, to be able to drift over towards this B side. Scuba is fully committed to anchoring, and he needs help. This is such a tough position to play in as a player on this B site.
Jaws made noise here. He knows it too. Relay Bolt aren't going to quite connect, but he sees Ethan a little bit deeper on the line. Doesn't expect the closer play, though. Scuba stayed undetected that entire time and is rewarded with the frag. The Guardian just doesn't cooperate for Valen there. And so it's up to Trent and Leaf. The latter here at least with a Vandal. Trent not in the ideal spot to make use of his weaponry. Leaf needs to pop up and be the whack-a-mole that nobody can handle.
Trent doesn't even have any util to try to supplement a jump up from Leaf. Dismantled by NRG, who play that retake great. It's so dangerous whenever on Breeze right now. You're watching an anchored player dug into the site, whether that be on this B side, if someone's like all the way in the furthest left corner of the map, if you're on A, the furthest right corner of the map, those guys are going to need help bad. And if the timing window is off, they're going to get run down right now in this Breeze meta that we're in. So NRG just being able to work into mid, not see anyone, and then get to that B side quickly. You saw the high tide come up from Mata. It cut off Trent in main, and then they're fighting right into the site to help Scuba. That was great.
Brought Recon as well straight away, picking out two. That doesn't hurt. Here's the more... Okay, that's quite a deep cove.
It's just a cool little way for NRG to get that presence in towards A main with a dash up draft, get on the box.
Or at least signal that they're doing that, right?
And see if you can't catch someone just kind of awkwardly trying to make their way through that smoke that would have been covering up the stairway. Again, it's this proactivity. Look at this from NRG. Start of round, in A main, dash up draft, showing presence, and now G2 have to re-clear this,
everything.
Right? It looks like they might just do it straight up contacting. But then NRG go right back to mid, post Kiko up there. They're always doing something on the map.
Trent contacts that box so he can get a deeper drone and try and check back of sight. It's going to be open. The high tide means that G2 have got a pocket within which to play.
Mata has all of his util ready for this retake. They can just wait out the high tide from G2 and go for the full set execute retake here.
He's so loaded with spam. Down to 12 already, and he's spotted by Ethan just around the corner. That is a horrific round for the duelist.
No one from G2 is even going for a rewrap. They're all stuck behind this high tide right now. Down a man.
Spammed. They're all getting spammed out right now. Valorant can't do a darn thing. Suppressed. Baby just has wayward aim. It's just messy. God, that all went down in the screaming heap. It's on Leaf with a Guardian. He doesn't do much either.
I mean, you could just see what was inevitably going to happen, how the dominoes would fall, just looking at the mini-map like 15 seconds prior to that, because everyone from G2 just hurtled back towards main side. All of the util remaining in place for NRG. Mata used nothing until the retake itself. Leaf wasn't able to go for a rewrap in mid. He thought about it. There was a bit of hesitation. Kiko was on that line anyway. The G2 with just no space to work with and Jaw going down early. Man, playing Neon on this map is tough. You have a lot on your shoulders, especially on attack. You are always in these really far forward positions and often just left in a situation where it's like, try your best. We hope you can do something because we can't really help.
You don't have a chance to correct your position. You're all in, just like he was there.
Yeah, that's going to be caught. A good first little kill at the sacrifice of a lot of HP, but he'll take it this time. It could be sick onto Mata.
Needs the timing. No sound though. Detected. Mata backs up inside that smoke and Joe, I mean, he's 10. He still went for it. That's crazy.
Respect though. Now on the retake, look at this initiator util. Double flash for Ethan. Brock has the recon to use. The tools for NRG in spades, but this time Leaf is committing to this rewrap. He didn't on the last round.
But this fragment forces G2 out towards the front of the site. This gives a pocket for Ethan to play into now. Look at him. How to be up on the site. Can Baby and Valen double swing this? It's a hard ask. Valen gets some purchase with a stinger. But honestly, G2 had a good start to that round. Trade 2 for 1. But once again, it falls over in the post plant.
These NRG retakes are just so dense in utility every single time they activate it. With playing multiple initiators and you have the Harbor, there's just so much. That time they didn't even have the Harbor. Like, didn't even matter.
What? What? How are you alive?
Listen, he died to the stinger, we get it.
And it's only a matter of time until you see Kiko pick up the op on defense. More of the same. A lot of moments where Ethan is going to be throwing a pop flash to get him on the line. Something along those lines, or maybe, you know, a little drone from Brock, etc. But it's speed from Jaw. Oh my god, that's a devious shot.
At extreme range, man. Hunter's Fury time now. That was a bolt that did connect.
Does he know?
I don't think so. Can he correct his aim in time? No, that's pretty quick for Scuba.
Scuba knows he's in trouble. Wants to escape. Pinged up by the drone. He needs some help.
His own snakebite prevented him from actually
Look
pushing
at
onto the
Jaw.
server.
He is in the walls.
Now he has that top map control, but Ethan also kind of reciprocating. The map's essentially flipped now as G2 have to work out from mid, but A is open.
Everybody going for the timings, everyone going for the flanks, but it's resulted in, once again, G2 planting on A and NRG retake time. We have gone back to normalcy.
Spike planted.
Still though, Ethan comes into this with 2 flashes to work with. Can just fight, refight back. Maybe we just go as a full trio and isolate these individuals, because what is Jaw planning? He might not have the timing on this.
Brock not going to have a recon in time to use for this. Jaw is going for the round-winning play, which is the unexpected flank.
Can Valorant buy enough time for this? Suppressed out, NRG slowly circling like vultures, but Ethan spotted out there. Oh, you're kidding me, Valorant might not need help. This is more than enough time though for Jaw to get there. Stunning round from G2. And a tidy little 2v3.
Sick recovery. Listen, a few rounds ago, I'm talking about how hard it can be to play Neon on this map. There's a lot on your shoulders. You're being thrust in some pretty tough positions consistently. And right now, Jaw is just lighting up NRG. The first kill was stunning. Stunning from him. And then exploits the hole in the map that he created and just pushes all the way into the spawn. It's crazy.
All right, Gambit pays off there for G2. Seeing Captain Valen stand on his own 2 feet and deliver a warning to NRG. Obviously, getting Kiko posted up mid somewhere impactful is going to be important. G2 are playing away from the purview of the operator.
You're waiting to see on both mid and A main as well if there's going to be some audio cues of NRG doing something proactive, some kind of pop flash, etc. to get space, but
this is a little bit of a dangerous cross if there isn't that standard smoke.
yeah, every cross has to be covered if you're G2. And because they're G2, those crosses will be covered. Those are the aspects of the game that they are never playing around with. You can trust them to be reliable and consistent.
It's a bit of a fake to sell here now with the out drone committed over towards B and Jaw tucked on the other side of main.
Fake. That fast lane as well, further selling it.
The
A
Cosmic
side
Divide?
just has Kiko with the op. Can he get onto an angle in time, though, to find an opener? It's possible. He's trying to work his way back in towards...
30 seconds.
Oh, stunning stuff. Doesn't have to test any of this Vice util. Jaw here ready to pick up that mid position, though. Slide, relay, bolt. Marta's able to catch him out. Hunter's Fury, though, now comes in for Trent, but he doesn't really know where he's firing at.
That stun's still connected. Scuba with a delayed trade onto Leaf. So the advantage still lies for NRG. Found that first kill courtesy of the op in Kiko's hands. That's going to go away. He can pop that ult. Where someone could be main, could be Cubby.
Baby has to hear this. He knows Kiko is hunting. He needs to try and double up with Trent here, but this is dangerous 2v2. The op is something you've got to respect. Kiko now out in the open, still has the Blade Storm to work with, but Trent is unbothered. That's 4 for G2.
Trent is just an absolute clutch monster. I was even reading in an interview he did recently after one of their last matches about how he takes the time to just go back and watch other players in clutch situations. Watch those late round moments to pick up on their tendencies, so when he's going up against them, he knows what to expect, knows how to win 1v1s against any opponent he's playing against. It's just that level of meticulousness that has G2 all to those moments. And that's what you need to do in a map that is just retakes, 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 retakes.
Is BabyBay trying to take an early op line in mid here? Looks like that is the plan.
A rare, it feels like a rare BabyBay op, but it's not rare that he immediately gets kills with it, especially on the attack side. His attack side opping is really, really good. Like, think about all the times he's playing Chamber on Bind, for instance.
Haven.
Just dominant.
We are going to get a BabyBay chamber map in this series if it goes the distance. That's map number 4. Bind obviously out of the rotation, but Haven very much still in. Oh, sees just a glimpse of Marta. This is NRG kind of running it down a little bit here, trying to get some of that mid presence now. Kiko finds himself in a very awkward spot.
He used the pit on this round, by the way, over towards A main. So that is just out of the game for NRG, who are fully relying on Kiko to come up with a magic play in this moment to somehow get in this round. But
I thought he might be waiting for a pop flash from Ethan, but he just goes.
Yeah, just wants to catch the timing. Intuition moment, but it doesn't work out.
And this should be pretty smooth sailing from here on out for G2. Ethan running away from the fight. Okay, sliding on through. Scooby getting a little...
Why is that guy there? why is Leaf on Orange on A?
I have no sympathy. It's the lurk, but it's the consummate lurking player for G2 and you have no map control. So he could be anywhere. He could be in the walls. Oh, just as the one-way clove pops down. Dirty.
Oh, and the little recon break. Yeah, that's...
Yes. What a tight little protocol to basically guarantee that kill. All right. I see you, BabyBay, going from 0 to 3 frags now.
And you can imagine that G2 will be slowing down the pace of the game. We saw the explosive opening round strats revolving around Jaw, taking very fast duels. And now, a bit later into this half, they're mixing it up, relying on Dre with this operator. Going to give him time to work the map.
This is new from Kiko, though. The first time that he's actually not playing top or sort of mid-win, double door, excuse me. Wants to hit contact into A main. Now, the slower style for G2 should prevail against this.
And drone to ensure that no one on NRG could be on just that angle as G2 execute into the side. Kiko pinged up as well, so he's got to get on the run. There's no way that NRG can try to actually hold this. They know that. It's time to play for the full retake, and they have Mata's Reckoning to do it with.
Brook was trying to stay inside that high tide, Wyatt, but I think he saw the Reckoning come through and realized he couldn't find himself a Gremlin kill there. Kiko trying to peer in with the op. That's Jaw just in the open, frankly.
Now, what do you do if you're G2? If you try to play in front of the high tide, you're going to get hit by a Reckoning.
Still Garden as well. That's going to complicate things further, I'm sure. Leak trying to go in there with that Vandal, but Mata and Scuba get classic kills and keep NRG ahead. Eventually, they're going to have access to their primaries once more, and Trenton's going to have his wits about it. Here's the press. Find a timing. This swing is okay, but leaves it on BabyBay now with the op. 3 kills in the previous round. Not sure how that didn't hit, frankly. Kiko's able to run him out of town.
Just a little bit wide. I like that counter ultimate that Dre did throw out. The Steel Garden was nice. That was really one of the only win cons available for G2 in that situation. A situation that is just a nightmare to deal with. I mean, that's pretty unlucky for Jaw, but yeah, when you're in that post plant and you're G2, what are your options? Like, you play behind the high tide to avoid the Reckoning? Well, then you're giving up all the space and you're about to get fried and stuck in the choke. If you play in front of it, you get hit by the Reckoning. Like, they really played to the only option they had, which is try to steal Garden, try to fight around it if we can. So, you know, good effort, good idea, but no matter what, they're just at a low percentage win situation. Right now, it's back to the pace. No more opping for Dre. It is all about Jaw on these entries and the pressure on Brock with the Odin at double doors, trying to hold things down for the team. He is fully on his lonesome. Look at the minimap. He's getting pinched.
Yeah, and Scuba's looking for a timing now to get into mid.
That is ridiculous. That it cannot be happening. It's illegal. That can't happen. He should be getting pinched from both sides.
I mean, he should at least
still
be.
Gets 3.
You think he'd be getting hit at least by one of those plays. They all swing one after another. Hanasiri here, Trent. That's a nice one to pick up. Ethan also tagged up by it. We are in a post plant. This is still winnable territory somehow.
Yeah, now it is. Look at the ground Kiko has to cover with that op. Maybe because he's so silent, he might catch Leaf. Well, not very silent anymore. He's dashed in, has some info. But to what avail, man?
Now, NRG, look how split they are.
Yeah, just not able to work together at all. And even if Ethan gets this kill, the
Doesn't
time's
matter.
too low. He can't even run over there. There's too much distance to cover, and Leaf is just playing it to win, which is also annoying from Ethan's point of view.
He'd prefer he didn't do that.
He'd prefer if he took a little duel there, but no, he's just going to wrap around the box and stay alive.
Okay, so it all sort of falls. Okay, this 0 point here, they get suppressed as they jump out. Oh, man.
Yeah, oh man, I didn't even catch that the first time, but yeah, that's sick. I mean, that even turns off the ability for Baby Bay to send that flash out
Arc
potentially
Rose.
with the
Yep.
Arc Rose, any other util to come through.
Dirty setup.
That's
That's frustrating. You're not rewarded for your setup at the start of the
It's a
round.
devastating round to lose. The 4-on-2.
I mean, Leaf had the most abominable off angle on that A side. Kiko was not ready. Okay, so Odin with an assortment of nuts and bolts here for NRG. They've got a couple of sheriffs. Baby Bay once more is hunting. He has it up to hand.
Toxins going up.
Smoke just got thrown down on the A side by Valen. Recalled. Has some heads turn in that mid direction. Scuba though sees enough. They're going to fall off the line. Hope to stall this out, but the Snakebite's too slow to stop Jaw from getting into the site. He is deep in that site. And he's going to fight for it too. Marta taken down, but Brock gets 2 kills off his Hunter's Fury.
Now that's a sick ult. Look at I mean, the players that died for NRG.
So far
the ones
apart.
who didn't have the great guns either, so it doesn't really matter in that regard, right? They've still got the Odin. They have a rifle in the hands of Ethan, and this is very winnable for them. So the recon is sent way down mid for the re-clear.
Filthy noise cut this one. Even Scuba's considering getting off B or at least having a less committed position.
Yeah, look at NRG across the map. They are spread thin. Ethan is not going to be able to get to this
30
B side
seconds
in
left.
time if there's an attempt to pull from the 2 NRG players, and there is.
Player standing.
Oh, they both go down. It's traded out. It has to be a clutch from Ethan.
And we saw the same pathing from Scuba actually on that pistol round when he was smoked out.
Yep, that's a noise cut brain destroyer moment.
That's
from
an
G2.
it's an NRG special, man. Valorant will look to wait. Oh my goodness! What a moment from Ethan. From extreme frustration in the previous round to exaltation here in round 11.
Wins the 1v1 IGL head-to-head clutch. Crucial to keep NRG in this game after Brock hits a nasty ult in the midst of that execute. NRG not really with the weaponry on site to make any more of it. The trades for G2 are good. They completely scrambled NRG's position with that noise cut. But Ethan gets the isolated moments on both players.
That is a desk slammer, 100%. Last round and a half, and both these teams have played each other close here on Breeze. The weaponry is awkward for G2 this time around, though.
Pacey into elbow. Jaw just with the stinger and an overdrive at some point into this round. Could be some pressure on Ethan.
Be a slide swing opportunity here now. Valen couldn't find the timing there. It's going to be an ult command.
Yeah, and that's the execute done if there was supposed to be one from G2. But G2 with...
There was. Look at this high tide up.
They've got a meager buy. High Tide is now going to be irrelevant later into this round. Valen gets the refresh on his smoke. That is one of the bonuses of playing Harbor. You get that Cove back constantly. So it's not like they're without smokes to try to get back into a site later, but you don't have the critical piece.
And once again, NRG are free to just spread the map here. Okay, Leaf, that is a legit Nebula that is thrown over towards double door. But with how far down mid the Marba is, I don't think he's selling anything.
So Ethan is just kind of jiggling, taking this contact. Scuba in a position to fight more aggressively. Swings off that pop flash, but it doesn't connect. He goes down.
Okay, raw contact's going to be the way to get into B, apparently. And what remains of this controller util? Down here, stunning close as Ethan gets out onto the side. There won't be a whole lot to see here.
They just don't even want to give them a chance to try to plant this fight. They're here to fight with the better weapons.
Ethan has a 0 point coming back in a couple of seconds, but
There
he's out
are
of flashes.
15 seconds left to get this plant down for G2.
Time is ticking. This could be dangerous. NRG know they're in the right place here to disrupt. It's going to be Brock with the Odin. Leaf has to go massive here, and frankly, he's just overwhelmed. Spike Planter's down, and Baby Bay has to chase some frags to end the half out. NRG keep it even Stevens after 12 rounds.
Hard fought to get the last couple rounds back, and it came from a really crucial clutch that Ethan got in that 1 versus 2. makes up at least a little bit for NRG faltering in that 4 versus 2 round. A critical moment in this half that gave G2 the lead.
It's getting scrappy out here, bro. It's getting scrappy out here, bro.
I mean, he's one to talk. These retakes have been in round 12 and eventually get brought down by a NRG who are waiting for them at the site. So, the NRG get a chance now to set the pace, set the tone into our second half of our second map.
We are back to the pistol round win rate percentage narrative. Will it remain even? Now, one of the tales of that first half for me as well is just the fact that NRG was so dominant in the first kills, but it wasn't always the conversions. 4v5s were good from G2. Scuba right now watching the flank. That's another first blood, the 10th for NRG in this game, and they need to close out this pistol.
He doesn't see the other G2 players walk that wall, though, so I'm not sure if NRG are expecting more presence from main. Scuba has the prescience, though, to turn and look! Oh, God, if he'd found all of them, that would have been nuts. Ethan next to step up here. Valorant, Trent, Baby Bay, all healthy enough, but Valorant may as well be in Nantucket. Different postcode. And now might be facing down 2 players here. Awkwardly, nothing really G2 can do to help him out. Brock, though, brought down. Ethan a little bit worse for wear, but it's Kiko. Cool and calm.
Nice cleanup from him. Valen, in that situation, you just know you're fried. You have to close all that distance. There's a bunch of different angles. Multiple players swinging you from arches. Scuba with a great opener. But something I want to highlight in terms of the more macro gameplay that I'm looking for from NRG further in this half as well is that they flipped the site. They took so much forward space there. They weren't playing in positions that could easily get cut off by one single high tide. They weren't going to get all divvied up. They were forward, they were aggro, and they had a lot of map control in that post plan.
Similar opener here, G2 with a bit more of a default assortment across the map and no mid-presence. Want to play close in corners. Baby Bay going to be flashed out, so surely this gets checked at some point. It's going to be Kiko that accosts him with the stinger. And Leaf is just trying to get ahead of this, but he is suppressed and he's lit.
No, he's having a nightmare time. He got hit by the knife and then he gets hit by the recon later as well. Totally fried. See if maybe Ethan can kill hunt a little bit, getting close to the null command.
Would bode well for these fast hits. NRG look like so far they're happy to do. Decisive. Move up onto the B side. And now for G2, not really playing for much more than perishing to the spike or maybe an exit. Trent attempting to play a impish little angle. Now G2 just have to set their sides forward. Remember, their defense sides against Leviathan, that was the issue for them. Really uncomfortable. Today, though, they look like a different team for the most part. But this is Breeze, this is NRG's map pick. And they're looking to assert themselves in the second half now.
Yeah, it was a quality defense half that they displayed on Lotus that also involved winning some thrifties to get ahead. 2 really important rounds won outright. So if you're NRG, you have to clean that up to be able to close out your map pick here.
And we didn't see really any of these from G2. G2 did not go for any A splits basically at all on their attack side. They didn't have to contend with like the Cove one way. They didn't drone into A main and sort of walk up. I think it might have been 2 rounds where it happened. And in one of them, Trent actually contacted the box and droned deeper into the site.
So what is the move here from NRG getting into this A side when you're dealing with all of this Vice util? And it's Vice util that you don't really know about until you're actually midway through the exec. They're completely stalled out.
They're walking into it, and now Marta getting lit, but he's behind the boxes. Baby Bay knows it! Full flash! Ethan just presents himself on a silver platter. And Scuba is ready for Baby Bay to swing wide and finds it. Recon bolt. Kiko is revealed. It still ruins Trent anyway. Scrappy is a great way to describe this.
Look at this secondary deep high tide thrown out from Mata. It's just allowing NRG to get so much space on the map.
This is all but impossible for Leaf. Yeah, he's going to be surrounded.
That's a great execute. Just using that Viper wall close and then having the second one later after they had gotten all of that util out from Baby Bay. It delayed. They lost 1 player, but they traded out. And now with that second high tide, fighting forward behind it, stuffing these G2 players in at the chokes, making it a nightmare to get out of them. They can't.
We see that a lot from MIBR as well. It gives you like a second area.
America's Breeze earlier on in this statement.
it was looking haggard.
I'm less concerned.
To be fair, at least we don't have the harbor on Lotus anymore. So there's that. We have evolved. So, proof in the pudding about the effectiveness of that Josh RT timeout. We'll need to wait until the next round, likely, before we get that tip-off. Into the smoke. Gotta respect the owl drone, though. Yeah, NRG dotting their I's, crossing their T's, making sure they do not have the wall pulled over their eyes. So G2 now have to scatter across the map and try and, I don't know, get some extracted value on the way out.
Yeah, would love to just get Ethan towards that null command. The ult, especially in the context of these comps, is insane. Like, you could use it for an exec. Maybe you're able to turn off all of the Vice util if for some reason the Vice is playing on the same side as the util on the round where there's null command, or but just having it for a late round when you know they're going to go for the big Harbor retake and you can just
Shut down the
all
wall.
that. Yeah, it feels like the round's just done.
It feels kind of nice here. Get into a post plan and you get a sound cue and then you rip it. It'd be devastating. Not too shabby from Valorant here. NRG kind of losing out in the gunfights here. The round, though, is safe.
Oh, and there's that ult. Null command right on time for the
the gun
points
round.
and the narrative that we were spinning up. Thank you, Ethan. Appreciate that.
And what we were sort of suggesting is that the timing of that ultimate is going to be really important. It's probably going to tell us a lot about the plan for NRG.
By the way, this is now Kiko at the casual. 5 first kills and 0 first deaths on the Jet.
Yeah, hasn't had to be too flashy in this game. Also, hasn't sort of been left in any clutch scenarios. Just been really effective getting those first kills. So we might see again this nice double-layered wall setup on
This
A.
is what I was just saying. You have Baby Bay now going over towards that A side, and he has the util over on the B side because of a null command, just like this. And it looks like G2, they want to anchor this. They're playing up really close, right tucked behind the attacker Viper wall.
Well, NRG is arbitrarily forcing this. They are going to go for it. Here's that confidence that looks so clean on these executes. Then Baby Bay eventually ends up getting suppressed. That's how deep Ethan was able to get onto that A side.
So the call for G2 there is to just try to fight in front of the Harbor wall, but behind that Viper wall, and try to catch NRG as they're getting into the site. They commit to anchoring it with 3 players, but it doesn't work out. They are just still collapsed on by NRG. It's so tough to be able to manage all of the lanes from the attackers getting in onto this site. The potential for the timings jumping through. It's a 2-on-3. Everyone from NRG in main. Time is just so low on the clock right now. I mean, Molly as well. Bro, this is just chalked.
Yep.
There's just no way. There is just no way.
Baby Bay hoping to extract himself from the site with his weapon in tow. But that's all the G2 are going to really get from this round. That's brutal. NRG, no info, full execute on A behind the null command, and it works like a charm.
Yeah, they really don't have to shift much at all in comparison to the previous rounds. It's still just that first layer with the Viper, having her wall up, dividing the site in half into that deep wall. Yeah, he's trying to anchor close. Fallon's trying to get into anchor with him as well, but the timings around these pyramids, the timings around this smoke, it's just so tough to anchor this site. Front-facing wall and smoke density that's just covering up all of those chokes. Still, they've got the AWP, that's the difference. That's in the hands of Jaw. He's posted up over towards the A main side.
The ticket tells the story. It's been 7 consecutive rounds won here by NRG. Okay, so we get the standard Viper wall over on A, but no follow through behind that. No high tide, no walk out of A main, no flash, nothing. So now G2.
Yeah, just standard kind of run-of-the-mill, just Harbor Opper is posted up over towards on B, just as we all expect.
But this might become an A split with like less presence towards main than double door. Aldrin doesn't see anything. That double door spot is given up pretty happily by Jaw, who is hoping to be at the contact point with his op. But the flash is going to force him right off and force him into a bit of a retake protocol here. Look at this early, preemptive high tide here. And that was a reckoning that came out from NRG. They're going for it, but can they play around? High tide, Ethan's just... he's just shredding them. Walked up onto the side. Not a care in the world. And this is where G2 was supposed to have had a plan.
Scuba even catches the timing up in mid, goes down to Leaf, but up to what avail? He's going to try to go for this, surely. But time is going to be extremely low. Ethan comes up with a huge play, but it's also kind of off the back, like G2 just feeling like they need to fight in that choke. Jaw is covering a tough angle with the AWP, trying to watch main when the smoke is down in front of it. Now Leafin, he doesn't even want to risk going for it at this point. Just save the rifle. You hate to play for OT sometimes, but it's a necessity.
I mean, this is just disastrous. G2 have found 0 defense side rounds here on Breeze. And they try something a little bit different. They intuit the timing of NRG's A push pretty well with that high tide. I could see what they were thinking, but so they just get ruined by raw gun skill as Ethan walks up on them.
And they just don't have the right weapon for Jaw to be holding close there. The AWP just doesn't get value in the round, and yeah, look at it, where he's at. He has to try to cover in a situation where a player from NRG could be coming through any section of that wall, right?
And he also had to vulnerable himself by walking the Viper wall there.
Yeah, it's just a really tough spot.
Well, no more timeouts left, no more second chances either for G2. They need to nail it in this round and then force for the rest of regulation.
Half does not get more decisive than this. NRG are just proving that they are the real deal on Breeze.
And this is why people are feeling G2 right now are fallible. It's been this discomfort on defense sides. It's been so evident over the last couple of days. Novapulse catches Scuba, but he is ahead of it and back around the corner.
Just going to commit that Cloud even to try to get the wall pop, but that's why Jaw is so close with this Judge.
Does Jaw have the right weapon for his position this time? We've seen him be pretty successful here. Kiko is going to clear close. Bam!
That is insane. 6-0 first kills to first deaths for Kiko now.
Just so clean. Like I said, hasn't had to be a high flyer, hasn't had to be flashy, but he has given NRG their inroads in almost every one of these rounds. Brook here looking to pave the way with the Hunter's Fury, but there is a pullback for NRG. They've now taken this space, they're cutting noise and spraying into the smoke. Now they know they can absolutely go for it. Leave. Oh, what a transfer! 25! And he's enough! Trent brings him down. What an ignoble end for someone who might have just saved the map for G2. At least evens up the numbers now, but this side is all NRG's.
Scuba just wants to get the timing on that fight. Trent has only got the Marshall, and now he's the only one left.
And Brock knows where Valorant is based on where the wall's coming from. He knows he's isolated there. So Trent's going to walk up with the Marshall. And yeah, pinged out by the L drone. Could have been a pretty legendary round here for G2, but a couple of things just aren't drawn up in favor of them.
Spike is planted for tunnel, Scuba pops the pit, and then just wraps around, so he's got the angle to close things out as a guarantee. Decisive map 2 victory for NRG, a cut above on.
That'll be the game plan coming into Pearl. We're going to be starting on the attack side, though. Do you want to hit the fist around narrative, or do you want to just move on with our lives?
Oh, we are still even? That's great. Both at the 52.5, dead even, 21-19. Yeah, we got to keep hitting.
Nailed it.
Every single time.
G2 now, can they make a run back on their previous Pearl showing? They won 9 rounds in a row after being down 7-2, and Josh called a timeout. Perhaps G2 fans are hoping that won't be required. It is an open B site, though. Nobody is home.
And G2 fans would have also been hoping that NRG went through mid into the 4-player stack that were ready to fight them, but that is not the case. Looks like G2 want to pivot into a fast little play into this B side, perhaps. No, just Valen kind of prodding, seeing if he couldn't get just one headshot, find an advantage.
Caught though, just a little bit too far out there and bogged down by the damage that came in.
NRG so aware that there could be flank pressure coming in. It's 2 players, matter of fact, from G2.
Virtually every angle's covered here. The G2 are going to be walking into a series of layered crossfires. Jaw hoping to try and break that, and some crosshair placement, but it's not to be. No, they are going to get rinsed here.
Yeah, G2 just waiting to get in position there so Trent could throw his haunt. That was really the one piece of util they had to try to get back in against these crossfires, but that is not going to be nearly enough. Down a player, and that's cute. And it was balanced.
He dropped the quarter.
That's a vintage play. That's a classic from Ethan, honestly.
You know, coming from games where you're the size
I was going to say that is
size actually changes when you look down in some other games.
A vintage TAC FPS
Enemy remains.
kind of maneuver.
not here, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Baby Bay has also played some of those other titles where your hitbox is changed by looking down. So I believe that was simply an homage to the boy. Right.
Recovering it.
One round down. It was NRG walking into an open B side. Now, we'll see G2 buying absolutely nothing in particular.
Ethan makes a little bit of noise towards A main and see ya. He just gets out of there right away and has the info that G2 just went for the haunt re-clear as well.
More than just a
so,
flesh wound there for Baby Bay. He is stunned up.
He is completely fried. But, hey, going for a little bit more of a proactive play on the eco round. Risky position.
G2 just trying to chase some frags here. All of them basically, with the exception of Valorant, heading over to the B side, hoping that that's the hit. But NRG want to try and keep this as clean a sheet as possible in this anti-eco round. So stealth drone will be accosted there towards A main now. And NRG probably a little confused as to what the arrangement of G2 is. They probably expected to have drawn players over towards the B side. They have. But they're not really sure what they're walking into here.
30 seconds left.
Also just want to add in that, by the way, this is just another moment where Kiko gets to add a new agent to the agents played in the last 60 days on VLR. Gets to pick up the Sentinel now, as well as the Duelist, and as well as the controller for this team in the playoff run.
Spike planted.
He is doing it all for this team and has really found his form in this stage.
All right, G2 are going to run it out here.
Flawless.
Might not find anything at all. Ends up being a flawless anti-eco for NRG. Again, G2's defense sides have been under some immense scrutiny. Said they were able to spend 90 minutes, said Josh, looking at some of their issues. But it's a different team.
In that matchup yesterday on the defense side, things started getting good for them when they started to play for these flood retake situations, especially towards the A side, and then an aggressive round in mid as well. It was when you could tell there was a shift in the mentality where as soon as an opportunity presented itself, they were just jumping on the chance to fight together. That's how they ran that game back against Leviathan.
But that was a problem for G2 on Breeze against NRG. Their floods specifically were not really meeting the requirements. Marta surges forward here, aware of course of the standard shield wall location, and he's able to draw it out.
Valen maneuvering his way into back halls, which definitely indicates that these G2 anchors want to fight together. The rest of the team trying to rotate their down street in time. Mata kept at bay at least for a moment. Molly of his own teammate can't get into back halls, and it gives Valen the opening, the opportunity.
Important moment to come forward there. Valen down to 19, but he's bought some space now for G2. And look at the re-wrap here from Jaw. Clearly, sound not made. Kiko unaware and can't do a damn thing about it. He keeps his back turned as he's brought down.
Great hold from G2. They make the decision knowing that the hit is coming to get into anchoring positions. And then Molly is thrown down from Kiko to get a player out of that tucked left corner. But it kind of provided a window where Valen wasn't getting pressured at a high-octane pace from Mata, from Ethan being able to follow up. They're stalled for a second. You can feel him kind of like readying his aim, getting ready for that swing out, and it allows just a little bit of opportunity for the rest of the team to get there too. So, you know, while that has a purpose, it also had a little bit of downside in that moment. And listen, we're talking about the floods. Look at that from G2. They get right in there to fight with the anchors. That's some lovely, lovely defensive play.
And here's Mata, very, very quick into art. We've seen this quite a few times before down through connector.
Every team throws in one of these a half.
Yeah.
You get your neon connector insert round.
Kiko's going to be stunned up here. Surely he's going to be checked. You'd think so anyway. Traded out ultimately by Jaw, who finds two, but is bleeding.
And Mata, in the meantime, went down as well.
I feel like that's how the I feel like that's how the mid-connector neon insert often goes.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in. But when it works, magic. When they forget that you exist and you're in the spawn and you're shooting someone in the back like Jaw did, and literally the game yesterday, that happened with him. He got like the free flank kill over towards the B side.
I also like when teams are trying to sneak and cheat players down into that part of the map as well, just, you know, midway through the round. But NRG have this Killjoy util that can spot that kind of stuff out pretty well. Jaw is still at 10 health, of course. Have it go 2-for-1 in that trade in
30
earlier.
seconds left.
Brook knows. Spidey senses are tingling. Yep. His opposite number lurks across the map with a note of his own, but now Brook is solo. Jaw 10 health!
Oh my god, I can't. How does he live? Now that's the moment that you never take the Jaw over. Brock should be getting that 99 times out of 100. The random Odin spam into the smoke, and it's Brock, and he's 10 HP.
Sorry, bro, he's Neo.
Oh, come on, man.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, just look at the spam come
Spike
through.
down A.
Bro, he had an outline of himself drawn behind him. Okay.
That's big from G2.
Nice moves, bro. Nice moves.
Again, I just like these decisions that they're making to go in for the art refight there.
Yep.
Still, just foot on the gas, dictating the pace of the game on defense.
Actually, there's a fair bit of resting util here in mid-connector. Kicker already down. Nova Pulse is definitely going to be enough to dissuade Mata away. And NRG can't really get in position to get good value out of these weapons. This is a bit brazen from Jaw, but he stops short of actually committing to Plaza.
Scuba lurk attempt just gets caught on B, and round should be as good as done. You look at the map, no matter where these NRG players are going, they're going to be either caught by some level of util or players ready to meet them. All of the footsteps now heard, so G2 have the info.
We're going to see a double up here with Trent's Odin. And Mata is alone there.
One enemy remaining.
It'll be Baby Bay waiting for this in mid-connector. Arcro's there, of course. Play off that, and it's a run down. Okay, G2 get their flawless round here. After dropping that pistol early, the way they're refighting and being disruptive before these plants is crucial.
Leg work on this round for G2.
Suppressing fire. Hot dog.
Crucial round. Crucial round coming up, though, as we've been waiting for some of these significant ultimates to get online, and that's the case for NRG. Both of their initiators have theirs, so that's going to be pivotal later into this round.
Pretty aggressive pop here for G2 on the B side. There's a lot of info to be gained here for the defenders.
How far do G2 want to test this? Now, they can just insert Jaw. If you spot someone out, a little bit of danger, that's okay. Fast lane, just jump right on out of there and get away.
And conversely, they're giving him plenty of ground on A because their Vice util is everywhere. They've also got the stall of the Astra setup.
And Ethan just got the info that the shear wall was there, so Mod is able to work his way over and bait it out, not without losing a hell of a lot of HP in the process.
Jaw might need to steal himself here. NRG splitting their forces. Now, they've got to expect that someone could have just lurked up deep here on the B side. Ethan can, with a guided salvo, clear some of these notorious spots.
And you can see with all this mid-pressure into art, into street. Oh my god, what? Jaw is caught before he can get out with the fast lane. The G2 are in, I was going to say, they're just in these very passive positions towards spawn. They have to give up a lot of space. And with Jaw going down there, getting caught, this B site fairly open. I mean, it's just Trent that they have to deal with, but they're... Oh, man, Valorant is trying to get in. Look at the util on the map, though. That's a Tejo moment for sure.
Never stood a chance. There was no sheer wall to slow NRG down whatsoever, but Valorant's going to come back in. And now up onto the side, he's found two. No plant yet. And Valorant a third through the box. That is absurd. 9 times out of 10, this round goes horribly awry for G2. And the captain has saved it.
Now, this is some vintage Valen Astra performance right now. Out of all the Astras in the world, he's got to be the one that is going to provide you with the most kills. He puts up numbers on this agent.
One enemy. 20 seconds left.
He is meticulous.
Charlie, I face one.
Oh my god, let's go!
It's getting another round where the decision is being made from G2 to dig into the site. Trent, he goes and plays forward. He and Valorant, there's a bunch of different ways to play the game. There's different perspectives, and multiple different perspectives and approaches to the game can work. It's just about everyone buying in. And this is a choice that they have made this year. Back to kickoff into Santiago, still to now, feeling like, hey, double initiator, that is what can work for us. Is that going to be the case here against G2?
Oh, Mata.
Oh,
The
he's
Razor Vines really messed him up.
I was afraid Brock was about to hit him with the Hunter's Fury for a second. Valen still on the anchoring, finding success.
They're just dying to util. Marta somehow, miraculously, was able to get a kill.
Don't have the weaponry, don't have the HP, and they don't have the space on the site either. It's effortless from G2. Effortless.
So much util. That was such a nice molly there from Leaf as well. Caught out Kiko. And before NRG really saw any of G2's players, they were down to 2.
That is a call out of the timeout to get in there with the ults from NRG on the lower buy.
Not ready yet.
And they just get fully denied.
Yeah, Kiko, nowhere to go there.
Enemy
And this is the beauty also of just playing with a Phoenix in your comp. You can just brawl so well. You're just dishing out the flashes when you're flooding back in. It feels like you are just flowing with the game playing that agent.
Look on Josh's face when he realizes his game plan he drafted up is actually working.
Gotta go.
A little bit bemused, a lot bit happy. It's an insert towards A main for Marta for now. And no push-up, nothing super aggressive from G2 on this defense side. They're not trying to get a foothold in Plaza. They're not trying to play up on B either. Trusting this Astra and Vice util instead.
Drone is down.
Good counter for the drone.
Got it. Absolutely got him.
NRG, much like we've seen on Lotus, for instance, you know, Breeze a little bit more straightforward in dealing with the Vice. Most of the time, Baby just has everything on one site because of the nature of the map's layout. But this feels more similar to Pearl, where you're dealing with the multiple lanes and it's forcing NRG to take a patient approach to the game where they have to figure out where the util pieces are at and try to bait them out.
Fairness, that seems closer to NRG's style anyway. Lockdown being considered here by Kiko.
30 seconds left.
Obviously, no Sova to contend with on G2's side, so this is safer. Marta again has to contend with that early util, but a bit of deep here with an off. Okay. Backs up, still guarded now, going to be in play. Valen just blown to smithereens. Brock almost guaranteed for one of rounds like this with the Oda, but time is ticking. Baby Bay, can he disrupt the spam? Is good! Partner kill, there's going to have to be a spike planted now, and Ethan has to stick it. The counter spray is good, but Trent might have an answer, and there will be no chance for NRG to get a plant here. What a blowout!
It's this brawly nature of the G2 comp and the willingness to just keep fighting with it that they're finding advantages. It's the same situation playing out over and over. NRG get the space into the site. Hell, they even get this first kill because the recon can't get broken in time to save Valen. But what happens after? G2, they hold back site. They're in there fighting. The spam is ridiculous.
Come on!
Brock cleared Secret at the start of the round. Like, I'm scared of that guy. It feels like whenever someone's holding Secret, he knows how to dig them out there, but it's just picked up by Trent. Fast hit here though for NRG, already into Art, and this has caused G2 to split out towards main. This feels like the correct decision.
Yeah, they're fully retaining this A main control, so if NRG did commit to that site, they're going to be caught. They can't do it. They go right back to street, hoping that they've drawn enough attention, drawn some of the rotates, but they're going to be just working their way right into this Vice util setup.
Valen dangerous! Somehow to get off the line. Baby Bay with an op as well. Doesn't have to worry about the B main push. But now this lockdown is in an awkward spot. He will simply need to leave the site.
Yeah, both him and Valen out of there.
You want to fight it?
Cosmic Divide also. Gotta be committed by Scuba.
Yep, and this is a situation where NRG have to fight really close. There could be a Cosmic Divide from Valen, and they need to fight in front of it. But because they do, they're susceptible to getting
Nightfall?
Nightfall. Just so many players. It's 4 of them caught.
Yeah, perfect scenario here for G2. The Nightfall catch is good. The Decay is going to work
Player standing.
and pay dividends. As Valen simply burns 3 down in Marta with the wrong weapon for the job. Will have to slowly amble his way down into a situation he knows is, well, as the kids say, cooked.
Go, go, go.
That is G2 just putting NRG in an unwinnable situation. Which, hey, again, it's like, which do you choose? It's kind of like the Reckoning High Tide conundrum on Breeze. It's like, all right, well, if you play back, there's an Astral Wall, so you need to fight forward. If you fight forward, you're getting hit by a Nightfall. Also, in that situation, they're Stingers, they don't have great weapons. They really only have one choice.
Nice kill, bro.
And it's, again, it's like in these close range fights, I'm going to favor the backside because G2 are right there fighting every single time. What is the adaptation out of the timeout? What is the idea here from Bonkar expending these timeouts just to keep the team in the game and then trusting them later when he has to go silent?
Oh, I like this. Look at this extreme plaza control taken. But is there enough for G2 to dissuade this A main push? NRG might accelerate if they see a chance here. That sheer wall is the only thing that could be an issue.
Baby Bay are ready for that full delay. Mata is caught in the corner.
wonder
Volley,
what he
oh my god, just sidesteps him, but he'll run it back. Freeze kill of all time for Leaf.
He knew exactly where Mata was going to be. It was a process of elimination.
NRG, what would you like to do now? After using a ton of tools to get into that site, take A main, you've lost the player, no map control elsewhere, needs to be a full re-clear. Wow, that's one way to do it. Ethan just collapsed Jaw on that angle. And suddenly the B site is looking a little bit open, but it is Valen who has just been the best anchor in the server. 1-for-1, NRG will take it.
He doesn't opt to really anchor that, though. He just thought he might have had a timing, but in a 1v3, I mean, the best you can hope for is probably a trade. Okay, so in the post plant here, there is an Armageddon at play for NRG. And they're going to play to it. Look at them pull off this side. The late rewrap towards B long could be an issue, but you can already see that it's being looked towards by Brook.
Armageddon used a little bit early, but that is definitely going to delay.
Oh, that special delivery was pretty nice.
Where are you?
Yeah, Baby Bay is just fully isolated. And now it is Trent alone again. That's a ridiculous first kill, but Ethan is right there to clean it up. Around where we're seeing some good Taeho value. It's just NRG deciding to make this extremely quick pivot back street into B. Something that they go for a lot on this map. They do love to go for the really fast, heavy in numbers, like run down street towards B after the A pressure.
And G2 are especially reluctant, even if there's some noise made at the other side, to actually just pivot over there. They do not like to over-rotate.
It's an Ethan round for real, though. The kill onto Jaw was really sick.
Still 4 rounds in and only 2 left in the half. G2 rich enough, of course, that the Odin and Op are still going to be a fixture of their arsenal this round.
Again, using that Taeho utility to try to get Mata right into connector. This time, the difference is Ethan follows it up with the spike, with the Odin. And this drone all the way down street will reveal Baby Bay's position.
So this time, though, there's no timing taken in towards connector. Baby Bay wants to play back after being revealed.
Wall is out of play for the defenders. I like that Jaws made this decision to get all of the space up towards B main, though. An important moment in the round will be the interaction between him and Brock if NRG do decide to go for this full B split, which it definitely seems like they're going to do after the noise cut.
Baby Bay is going to be forced off the line. Oh, that's huge!
Round-winning kill from Jaw. Now NRG have to get into the site and worry about a bunch of different angles.
They've got to pivot. They've got to cancel here. The Razorvine duo from Baby Bay stopped them in their tracks.
Now back through connector. Trent is getting all of the audio cues playing in spawn.
Oh no, not the spam, surely not. Trent's in a bit of danger though. Mata wants to pressure him through the corner of the masonry. He's trying to find an edge. Staying alive, I think, is the most important part. That when Trent might be able to walk away, the line's covered. Valen and Leaf. That is beautifully picked up by the captain. And that'll do it. It's all on Mata now. The 1 versus 3 at 20 health. And a blaze wall in his way, which gives him more than just a tickle. This is cooked.
G2 are able to pivot their defender positions into the perfect spots throughout that entire round. Even at the end, when NRG are trying to get back into the A side, G2 are fighting them from main. They have the space there. Trent knows exactly where they are, playing in spawn, goes to Flowers, and then, yeah, Baby Bay lost that duel to Scuba, but he's able to watch Trent's back. They are just in all of the right spots at the right times.
The last moments there. Trent gets away with all this is pretty wild.
Yeah. Just that double up from Valen and Leaf to get into A main. Just a great little call from the two of them. Just seals up the round, no doubt. Last attempt for NRG, and the buy is not ideal.
Rather pop. Oh, jeez, so much to look at there for Leaf, and Martin's going to bring it down with a Bucky of all things. Baby Bay was pushed up into Art, and now can give that space up behind the Arc Rose after having taken a kill. There's also a re-clear just now with the Prowler.
Still early days in the round, and NRG will slow down for a moment. Drone covers so much ground.
Baby Bay has a slim opportunity here to take his power to flash, but Scuba at 28 is able to complete
All missiles away.
that kill. This is going to be G2 forced to rotate into an unmanned site.
Smokes are going down, stunned towards Secret. No one there. Can anyone? Okay,
Spike
Ethan's
planted.
good for getting the plant. No one is able to really get in the position for spam. We're seeing if Mal could maybe get towards Secret, but he cannot.
We are in full cringe mode. We've got 2 nano swarms up on the site.
This is where the comp from NRG can thrive, and it's a position they've never been allowed to be in. G2 always preempt the fight.
Ethan, imagine that Salvo might just rotate back up soon. Will he have a chance to use it though? Dangerous. Georges wants this fight. Ethan and Brock are the ones that still stand, and they both chime in at the right moments.
Finally a chance for NRG to get the spike down and play out a post plant, which is where their comp thrives. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. There's the mollies on the spike, there's grav wells, there's everything. Everybody can just spam, so that is when they're good to close out rounds, and G2 know that. And that is why they were happy to fight them and kill them as fast as possible every single time that NRG tried to get into a site.
Someone doesn't seem too bothered by the result of that round. G2.
They're paced, really proactive with the team fights, all the flooding. They just bring that in today, and it works like a charm. I think especially against NRG's comp. Even more so, you want to be doing that when you know if you're in a post-plant situation, you're dealing with the Tejo, util, mollies, all kinds of stuff, right? G2 playing this map to perfection so far. Dominant first half. Can they close it out, though?
All that post-plant util they had to be worried about in the first half becomes stall util here in the second. So getting ahead of that is also going to be important. Joris so early into halls, but Scuba's able to win the fight out and take no damage doing so. Good signs here for the defenders.
The attackers are divided there. Resulted in Jaw being isolated. Look at the speed on this flank from NRG. Yeah, they're going to think wiser of committing to that too hard, though, and it's just going to force G2 in this position where they need to go on a pretty big re-clear.
They have to re-clear everything.
They got to be scared of so many different angles if they go back.
But they still have to do it. They've got 50-odd seconds in this round to work with. They know what they're up against on that B side. They dealt with the barrage of defensive util. You see, Ethan here is ready for this pivot. He could fall back behind that special delivery. Back to the site, maybe hold it alongside Marta. Yep, he's seen enough.
Yep, sends it out,
30
crosses
seconds
back to
left.
site, and now these two can play together. And it honestly looks like they want to try to hold, even though, yeah, they could play for a retake. Mata is entrenched in a main, and Valorant is none the wiser. That is super free kill.
Yep.
The nice little shot. And now Ethan, he just needs to live. He's just got to
10 seconds
wait
left.
for everyone else to show up, and then they go for the retake and trade things out.
Spike planted.
Okay. Spy plant down here. Trent's able to clear that dart nice and quick, but he's going to be overwhelmed in a couple moments. Leaf is playing this tight angle with the frenzy. It's a decent amount of damage here being laid down by Trent. Might have created an opportunity now.
Leaf with the kill actually gets an additional flash, and he gets the dink.
Okay, some damage, but Trent, this is tough. He's got the ghost to work with now, and the swing is a little wide. Nice syncopation there from NRG. And they'll notch up another pistol. Crucial one in this Pearl map.
And there is that,
10 seconds
be it
left.
limited defensive utility because it's a pistol round, but they were still able to stall part of the team off, and Jaw gets isolated on that slide in. Great first kill from Scuba, and from there NRG are able to work just a nice, simple man advantage round. Trade things out, fight together.
Again, imagine they've converted really nicely on their anti-ecos over the course of this series. A couple unfortunate thrifties in that first map, but generally converting off the pistol into that second round has been trivial.
Yeah, that hasn't been an issue yet since that second half of Lotus, where it was a big issue. They lost 2 of them. But they've definitely stabilized, at least in that regard, of the game. And to be fair, those weren't rounds against the 5 classics. Those were still like semi-buy, kind of light buy rounds they were losing to. Well, I mean, I say that, Baby Bay gets an opener.
Nicely done for Brock. Yeah. Every reason to exude confidence from that spot. But the trades have been here.
And Jaw recovers the Guardian. Did I curse this?
Spike planted.
Pending.
Say it ain't so. Oh, Trent tried to cross Marta. That is pretty insane timing. Body shots Trent out of the round. It's Valen. Marta's able to step up yet again. Low as he is, He's got plenty of help now, and the numbers are more than a little on NRG's side. Joy hoping for something, some kind of cue, some reason to spam at that spike plant location. Good speculation. Scuba's picked up. There's going to be another tap, but Jaw has to expose himself now. Oh! This line is nuts. Mata is low. One shot to Jaw. Both of them, in fact, barely clinging on to life. Mata tries to outfox and finds the connection. And he'll have enough time to stick the defuse.
Insane from Jaw. The slide one tap. Hey man, you can still post the clip. You just got to cut it after that. It just the clip ends there.
No, just do the,
and, just trust that he got the last one. It's
freeze frame, record scratch. It's fine.
Smart move. I'm out of here.
Get a load of this guy.
Sheesh.
That's 3.
Credit to Mata though. He gets the 3K with the Marshall to save the round.
We got it, boys. We got it. Hey, we got it.
I think last map in the same situation, they flawlessed on that round, and then the economy had a nice boost. Yeah, that's not really the case with it to say, actually. They just have nobody. So Jaw gets hell of a lot done, even in the round loss.
And now for G2, it's a pretty slow start, and the expectation is that NRG would push up into Plaza. Could be because it's just giving bonus. As a unit, NRG are trending across the map, maybe thinking about that art fight. They've got no info about Plaza until now. So this stealth drone seeing absolutely nothing should inform their movements. And maybe, yeah, make them consider getting some presence established back on B.
G2 have no willingness to play fast into this round. They don't want to walk into any kind of trap, just ensure that they can take things at their own G2 pace. Like
5 angles.
Send this fake into B with the run it back, and you can see across the minimap that has done the trick. It has drawn the attention of everyone from NRG. Ethan spammed down, caught behind pillar, and NRG will pretty soon learn when the spike gets planted that actually it's over on the A side, and this was all just a fake on B that also resulted in them getting kills because they had better guns. Oh wow, Brock catches that timing. No one is watching art.
Unreal moment for Brock there to emerge. This is going to buy so much time. Time for the rotates to come in, but one of them is caught already. Scuba down, back inside the defense side spawn. And Brock trying to get out there onto the side. He cannot stop the plant this time, and suffice to say the plant location has changed.
Yeah, was able to slip the net, exploit the one little mistake from G2 in that round to get the 1 kill, but
G2 are really good at asking each other where their gaps are. They do it all the time. Perhaps not in this round.
Yeah, it definitely just felt like everyone was still occupied over on that B side. Someone wouldn't have been that close that soon. Kiko just playing for the exits, able to get his first. Get closer to a lockdown maybe.
But it's G2 back to winning ways, and hey, taking 3 rifles out of this round, pretty reasonable. Kiko a kill, and a Vandal for his trouble. Safe from the blast now, as that lead though for G2 is going to be re-established. And here's the fake for Leaf. But honestly, I don't blame them for thinking it was the genuine article.
Yeah, even on a round like that, you're going up against NRG with a ton of util to throw at you, potentially some cringe weapons on a round like that as well. So G2, they want to ensure that they can win that out. They play that like it's a straight-up gun round, you know, trying to go for an ult fake just to make sure that they lock things up.
3-round buffer established by G2. Winning that gun round, but they obviously have to go to Stingers for Valorant and Trent here. Mid-connector. It's tentative, less tentative than the previous round, but they certainly are taking their time.
So going to be a full accelerate from G2. The fast lane is expended. Haunt goes over the top towards B and Jaws in off the relay bolt.
And also the turret's dealt with now, so no crosshair breaking ability on this defense side setup. And Jaw, Scuba doesn't realize it, but he's already into halls. No one saw him cross. That one-way smoke might have obscured Mata's vision.
Both players being forced into back halls is a nightmare for NRG trying to anchor that site. Walls collapse in on them, and they are just hurried into a save. Round is done like that. G2 get into street, standard alarm bot spot there. You know, they go in, they break it, and then, no, they just accelerate. They're not messing around at all. Complete pace change from the last round, right? They go from trying to work the map, selling a fake with the run it back. Very next round, Valen calls the complete pace shift to just barrel through street into the split site, execute.
Yeah, it's kind of insane, right? The difference between the approach to the first gun round and this one. There we have it. Oh, that's brutal. NRG having all their weapons stripped away. And we're getting to a critical point in the game. They can't really buy here.
Yeah, there could be one hero rifle from Ethan. That's about it. It's good play from the duelist. John and Leaf, they're able to just funnel everyone into back halls. They run them down at the same time. Don't know where to look.
So far, this Pearl has looked sublime. G2 on the attack side now. Going to have to contend with the hero rifle of Kiko. Maybe Marta thinks about overdrive here. We've seen NRG invest some ults in some of these half-bought rounds, hoping to tip the scales.
A selfless IGL buys the hero rifle and throws it to Kiko. So
that boy knows how to make it sing. Neither player there punished in the end. Jaw tries to slide in. The stopping power of Brock and a Sheriff should be studied. In fact, it should be well known at this point.
They get out the ult from Mata, they know where he's at, and that is enough reason for G2 to pump the brakes and wait for the overdrive to expire.
This lurk from Baby Bay could really be a thorn in the side. There's really no early detection for NRG for this, and now they're basically re-clearing everything in the middle of the map. Look at how slowly they're moving up into Art as a unit.
Yeah, Baby Bay heard one go towards Art. That was the Neon. He's about to find out that nobody is on site. And in fact, that means there's probably a lot of players in Art. And he gets the first one for free. Might get the second one for free as well. We'll see. The flash is great.
Eventually going to be brought down. There is a backstab here. But Baby Bay never had to feel that because Scuba wasn't there on time. That's what I mentioned about those random walks down connector, right? They happen in some of these rounds. They get mixed in. And this is a tough map. There are so many lanes to cover. Sometimes someone just slips the net. That's a big round win for G2.
Let's clean up. Valen still just stat padding. But that's a nice little one-for-one trade towards A. They lose Jaw. Unfortunate, but they get that kill. Mata pops his ult. They just wait. At the same time, Baby Bay's working the map. They play into that, go back towards A and split the site. Just a lovely attack round from beginning to end. They make all the right decisions there.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, really clean stuff. This map in general has looked it. So NRG, pretty quiet after winning that pistol. And the anti-eco to follow it. Brock now with an Odin to hand at least and a Hunter's Fury in the back pocket.
So Valen aware now that NRG could be pushing a player up towards A main to have some deeper control in that part of the map when it has to deal with Ethan's drone all the way back there close to spawn.
Look at how minimal the util is for NRG from mid to A on this map. So much of it concentrated towards B. They really want to funnel here. G2's sheer wall placement might indicate that they're happy to work this B side a little slower. Maybe draw this util out. But at some point they've been accelerating here. They're going to go for it. All of a sudden everything gets popped on them. Steel Garden here for G2. They want to get to the side nice and cleanly, but it's going to be tough. Hunter's Fury threatening the position of Jaw. He's going to move out in the open. Leaf also taken quite low. Jaw with the overdrive, though, is able to deal with Scuba. That's the only foothold NRG had on the B side. Down.
Scuba got hit by that Prowler, and then Jaw cooked him. Baby Bay is right there for the trade, being forced out on account of those missiles, but it doesn't even matter. What can Ethan get accomplished? He's alone, just trying to swing from main.
30 seconds left.
Brock forces to hold a passive line and hope he gets served up something. His patience is rewarded. There's no long B presence right now for G2, though, and well, off screen.
Leaf was just waiting with the flash out, and then he just walked out and killed him. I mean, yeah, that'll definitely get it done. I mean, NRG playing like a kind of theoretically like standard setup. You have your Astra, and you have your KJ over towards B. You get all your mollies towards main. The other three kind of play towards A main, then Art, etc. And even though all that util was there, it just doesn't matter. They just get run over by this double duelist. brawl-heavy comp. And honestly, I think at this point, you are questioning, should NRG, at this point in Stage 1, still be coming into a Pearl game running this comp when all of the evidence has shown to the contrary? And they have a Phoenix that is putting up the best Phoenix numbers in the league, both group stage and playoffs, no matter which way you slice it.
That's done. Placing swarm
It's not bad on KJ either, to be fair. That's going to be Leaf going down early. NRG, the only team they've beaten in this stage on this map, we talked about it, was NRG. 13-9. EG, sorry.
Rather, but
EG,
yeah.
13-9.
They are headed towards being 1-3 on this map, and they first picked it 3 times. They don't pick it here, and I think that's because G2 understand that despite NRG's confidence on this map earlier in the stage, if they made no changes, they are vulnerable, and they have exposed those vulnerabilities by playing a high-tempo defensive game with a lot of flooding, and now on attack. I think we're just seeing some really excellent IGLing from Valen in terms of pace shifts, hitting the right sites at the right time. Might be around where NRG can shut things down, though.
Yeah, I attempted an ace split, but their spacing was just a little off.
Yeah, the Odin is there, and also helps when Kiko at the beginning of the round just gets the one-tap kill with the Guardian.
All right.
So they're not out of it just yet for as doomer as the the narration of that round was, but they still need 5 in a row, and if that's what it's going to take, tough roads ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with G2's resilience on this map, demonstrated yesterday and in general. Yeah, it happens. The push out of Art came a little earlier. Hard to pull those off when you have no information about the site that you are hitting. G2, though, still on the precipice of going up 2-1 in this series, with Haven and Ascent on the horizon for our next maps.
Slow towards mid are G2 right now, getting up close street, and then they pop that util out. They need to force that Odin off of the angle. They want to make any headway.
They're KG. They know that NRG have pushed up again these mid extremities. Sparta down. Okay, they're actually able to get themselves into Art now. Cosmic Divide slammed immediately. Kiko has to have the stopping power here. One by one, he might be challenged, but the flash would have come through the wall and blinded him anyway. Trent wins it. And now they got that A site under lock.
Run it back on top of everything. Leaf gets that with the kills and with that plant. He's just going to use it right away. If he can get another kill, great. Also, just going to delay a bit. Cause some chaos for NRG.
Does an NRG side Cosmic Divide, though, to try and get them back in. Played retake and denied that A-main position. Ethan fighting through the masonry. Thinks about the wall bang here, but Valorant is going to get involved now. Ethan's got to act quickly. He does down Trent. Baby Bay rotating in late. Has the timing, and a backstab is good. And G2 look like night and day. With some of their uncertainty yesterday, especially early on that Pearl map, come up strong. It is a dominant showing.
It feels later that year, NRG's roster rejuvenated with Challengers talent. Guys at the G2 roster were playing against the Challengers years ago, then they already made the league, had more opportunities, and yet NRG lift that trophy, but they haven't been able to best them.
Grandfathered into a championship.
Can they take this Haven map, their own pick? Baby Bay is trying to stop them of that early with that opening kill. You mentioned it, but on the chamber here, this is just a map where he gets to shine. It's a map where he gets to op a lot.
One thing I enjoy in this map especially is what Leaf can do in a lot of these like post-plant scenarios as well. He's got some nerdy Blaze Wall lineups. He often tries to play aggressively out of Garage. Kiko trying to get himself set up on A long here. Trent, though, exchanges pleasantries with him at lane. But those ghost shots ring out and out. Here's the push on towards the side, but Baby Bay still in a commanding position, lording over NRG as they try to make their way through the cyber cage. Jaw, lit by the recon, and Baby Bay eventually will be thwarted, but there's more. There's always more with G2.
Brock is always deadly with the Sheriff on a pistol round, but Valen in form shuts him out of the round. Flash is great from Kiko.
Again, that's what he loves to do in these mid-rounds. Flash himself into these engagements, and now that he's finally run out of util. But he's got that health lead. Trent is in danger and has no idea where the Phoenix could be headed without making noise. Kiko's able to get onto the C side.
On HP, but he is the clutch player for G2.
Trent actually has some pretty helpful util for this.
Where are you? Still waiting.
Horn at least can let him get onto the side. He's thinking twice about it, though. Trent is the clutch gene of G2.
Just think about all of the positions that he needs to clear right now.
And you mentioned it earlier, Trent loves to watch other players in clutch scenarios to learn their tendencies. Has he been reading up on young Gio? Here's the tap. Kiko on the swing.
Come on, please.
Okay. Nerves of steel there. Eventually, Kiko boots him out the server.
Such a tough situation for Trent to just try to come out on top with, right? The amount of different angles he has to clear, playing against the clock. Kiko plants a spike in a position where he could be playing from a lot of different positions effectively as well, so.
He's everywhere, bro. He was in A main, like rattling the cage with Trent earlier, then he's in the B side, then he obviously went over to C. So active, so impactful.
NRG buying on this round to try to get a full on the next. They've got a couple rifles. One is in the hands of Kiko. He's already got 3 orbs, and they'd love to be able to get that run it back for the 3rd round. And obviously, as with G2, right? They're just playing for that Leaf Phoenix orb early.
Yep, Scuba has the util on the extremity, so NRG see this coming long before it happens. That means it's an easy accelerate onto the B site now, and they will hunker down. Also, a little walk here through Spawn for Marta. Didn't find anything off that A side of the map, though. There'll be some arresting util. Molly here to make things a bit more complicated. Scuba does get the hot foot himself. Here comes G2, fully ready to brawl. The slide is good for Jaw. Right click gets the job done. Kiko, though, here, trying to be careful, trying to slice the pie if he can. He goes low, decayed down, and Jaw's able to clean him up. Marta dives in, though. He's got the stinger. Well apportioned for this task, and the paranoia makes it impossible for Trent to intervene.
And yeah, NRG lose a lot of players, but they didn't bring much into the round, and they leave with the 2 rifles, so it's not a big deal. They also leave the round with Kiko getting the run it back. That was one of the primary objectives that they have going into it, aside from winning it. So they kind of achieve on most of the intended fronts there.
Hey!
We talked about these bonus round run-it-backs being pretty helpful.
We have seen a really solid game so far from Jaw on the Neon. Last map, he was great. Already off to a hot start, despite the rounds going NRG's way.
He always rises to these games of consequence. Basically, or it land.
Oh my God!
Even he can't believe
Oh
that.
my, that is gross.
Joke's over. You're dead.
That's Marta down already. Jaw will try and hold a position here. Kiko going to be stunned up as he tries to get in. It's run it back, of course. This is all free real estate. It'll be sent packing pretty darn fast. It's Leaf, though, who has another early exit from the round.
Molly Force fell out into the open, but no one could capitalize. The spam line, oh my God, that was just inches away, but the gap in the wall exposes Scuba and gives Jaw the free kill, so he can get into this site, try to support Valen, who's playing from Plat. They can work together, but Jaw just forward. That's crazy.
Okay, goes for it, but it's even numbers. This is G2, obviously their first buy on in. Spike that was loose here over towards Garage, picked up by Kiko, flashed toward Trent away.
I can't believe they went for that aggro play. Can Baby Bay save this round? He's just so sharp. I get him on the chamber, and he's going to make some magic happen.
No! Surely not.
Wow.
He was blinded. Trent barely gets away with that.
That is a scrappy as hell G2 round, but they're able to pull it barely across the finish line. Trent is in a 1v1 there. If he goes down, Baby Bay was not ready to help. This first shot was actually gross. Even hit, look at it. Bro. And then in this backside fight, Jaw decided to slide forward while Valen jumped up on Plat, trying to just
happening? These guys are
keep
moving,
the aggro up. Crazy round.
Leaf does look a little bit befuddled out there. He randomly died in, like, connector outside B-side behind Garage. Kiko continuing to farm orbs. No one on the C side from G2 has anything to say about it.
Despite the round lost, there's still damage done to G2's Econ. Look at the state of it right now. They need to win this round to keep it online. Brock, oh my God. 11 HP, but he does get out. And in the midst of all this, Baby Bay is just doing chamber stuff. Just walking down, taking space for free, and then you get a kill and you just teleport away.
It's been his bread and butter. These first kills have been crazy. It's Marta again that falls because of a line that he's holding. It's my dad too. No sewer presence here yet for NRG. That's being held tightly by Jaw. This Odin is going to be a nuisance. You won't need to slide and fire it to find success there, I suspect. Okay.
Baby is exposed on that B side. Kiko trying to get the spam kill. Knows someone was on the cross.
30 seconds left.
At some point, though, NRG have kind of got to make a decision. They're pretty deep into the A side, but that foray's been shut down, and now, what are they going to do? Try and just hit this again? Split from main?
They can try, but they have to get a kill right now, and they can. Get in, you have no smokes. Ethan went down, lurking in. Round is just over.
It's over.
10 seconds left.
And that's George just getting exploratory there, saying, I don't want to sit and wait for the game to come to me. If they are going to try and split, I can get ahead of this. It's an important round for G2. And again, after losing the pistol, they've certainly found themselves some footing, and he's Leaf going to get his frag. He's in the game.
That is free. The NRG are trying to work the map in multiple places. They get that nice pick onto B, eventually dealing with Baby, but they can't come to a conclusion as to where they're trying to end the round. Ethan thought he had a moment to get the free space in the site, but was being watched, being accounted for by Jaw in an unexpected position, to be
boys,
fair.
Come on, keep the momentum going. Keep it.
Stop them.
We saw that yesterday. Once they can get something started up, it's really hard to slow them down. It would be very early to have a Bonkard timeout, but if this round goes, these next two go wrong for NRG, it might be in order.
Jaw just using the Brock Odin spam that Josh was showing on the desk earlier, just to try to stifle the players that are getting through A main.
Again, it's a new spot for Baby Bay. This time, though, he's got to make a correction.
Wall has to be used just to get Mata out safely.
Still, NRG getting to enter the mid-round without having taken any damage or lost any players is... It's going to be a nice change after the last couple. Jordan is still a nuisance, still at large. His A side pretty heavily stacked, comparatively speaking. He can play off his flash here from Leaf, come straight away. Got to watch out for the relay bolt. He's going to molly things up, but the pressure's going to come from the other side of the site. Jaw's got to go busy, and all of NRG are waiting for him there. A lot of stun util affecting G2's ability to hold this side down, and they're down to Leaf and Valen. The former is already pinged out.
Leaf sends in the run it back, but it's a little bit too late. Valen gets one, not without the loss of a lot of HP to the Molly. So the pressure is keeping NRG from planting, but eventually they're able to stabilize.
One enemy remaining.
Valen, opportunity, but can't find that connection.
There was a chance there. No one was actually watching the connector push. Kiko had to cover both those angles at once. But he takes care of Valen in heaven.
The G2 were positioned pretty well for the exit to come in. They had 3 players here, but Trent loses that duel on the swing, and Leaf had a counter flash ready. He throws it out, but he got flashed himself, I believe. Something connected onto him. He wasn't able to swing out.
Flash first, then stun.
He just has to molly and wait, and at that point, Trent had to swing. He was alone and goes down. Jaw wasn't able to get his either, so despite being set up for that, NRG are able to come away with the kills on the exec anyhow.
If you want to play, let's play.
Shallow smoke from the attack side here.
Come on, let's go.
TP from info, perhaps onto the side. Kiko very, very low already, slowed up, and he's in run it back here. Here's a Hunter's Fury. Draw thing spotted here right out in the back of the site.
Yeah, Brock just sending that semi-speculatively, just based on the run it back, forcing the players out of the site into the spawn. Felt like he had a good chance for a connection, doesn't find it. Here comes the full-on retake, overdrive in the front.
Yep. Oh, nice haunt there. That's going to reveal some players up on this site. Ethan goes down first. And there's Jaw with the swing. They're not ready for it. He is low. Off the back of that timing, takes Mata out of the picture. Now there's no real close presence here. It's Brock who can try and play some kind of post-plant, but the Odin sprams down Jaw before he gets there. There's the defuse. Round done.
What a beautiful retake back into the site from G2. The pace to get out of spawn. They absorb that run it back, dodge out the Hunter's Fury, and then they're gathered up and they hit the go button. The haunt gets the connection. Ethan is stuck alone. The fact that Jaw is able to get the kill on Ethan, huge entry. He is just in excellent form right now. Star performance from Jaw when they need him to get into this grand final. Another grand final for G2 in Americas, another opportunity for a trophy. 4th one, if they can make it there, if they can get revenge on Lev, but they still need to get past NRG.
So getting that same spam angle taken up. G2 have done their homework. Jaw can get across with that mobility. C's thrown in, no one caught in it by the looks of things, and Jaw wants to try and take that lineup yet again. Spam through the corner. It looks like it worked.
Go, go, go.
NRG definitely draw out a decent amount of util and bring a lot of attention to that A side. Now they can feel like it might be time to work elsewhere on the map, leave some players inserted, work back to them later in the round. G2 love to go for mid-round reclears towards A. They push here a lot. It can be a dangerous play. It can be tough to fight back through these angles, but they are often willing, more than willing to do it.
Scuba doubles back here just when he got out, virtually scot-free. But Leaf, we talk about the mid-round refights, and Leaf is thinking about it.
This could be a great moment. They make sound, press up, and then cut noise. If Leaf just kind of has the intuitive timing here, he'll get the catch on Scuba.
Flashed out. Ooh, that was
Left.
the wrong direction.
Oh, yeah, just a little awkward. It just bounced off the door. So Scuba is able to get that kill.
And there it is. That's the acceleration from NRG. They were looking for Scuba to find something. He was in a compromising spot and still found success.
Mata presses forward into the smoke on account of just having
Race
the
your
judge.
fear.
Nightfall comes through. It's going to tag onto two. No, not onto Mata. Actually does, but he still just closes the gap.
Yeah, doesn't seem to care at all. But Jaw and Trent are still active.
But because of this wall, G2, they just
can't
want to get
hear.
on the spike. Yeah, they get it to half. Joss is sticking it all the way.
It's to half. Now it's Trent in that 1v2. The wall's about to come down, and Mata chimes in with the off. Very close, very scrappy round in keeping with what we saw on Pearl.
The ultimates from G2 do not get the value on that retake. NRG really thriving in the chaos there. It starts with this fight in sewer where Scuba got that pick. NRG accelerate into the hit, and Mata with the judge just knows he needs to do something kind of crazy, something active.
Honestly,
so
bro,
he gets into
if
that
I
smoke
land that flash, that guy is so dead.
and takes it even further. I mean, yes. I mean, yes, but he doesn't.
Curveball does
Unlucky.
behave interestingly sometimes. Baby, he was dominating the first kill category in these first few rounds. Now the rest of G2 really just so little to work with.
Just a flash and the swing to force these G2 players back and get that orb.
Now NRG will probably set up shop here, maybe even start a foray into mid and just sit there. Forcing G2 to make a mid-round re-clear, or they walk into a held angle.
Take flight.
And NRG, yeah, just kind of waiting for them to go back towards A, use this drone for the re-clear, forces Trent away because if he gets caught in the corner with the ping, he might just die to spam, or he's just going to get flashed and pushed by Kiko. He doesn't know, but there are a million different ways he could die, so he's got to get out of there. But I like the proactivity to try to get right back into the corner. That's the kind of play you need to make to win a round like this.
Yeah, try and invalidate this info as much as possible!
Oh my god!
Unreal stuff from Trent! And that's about as much as you can hope for. And it might well be enough. 33 seconds left of the round, and it's Bucky on the corner for Jaw. Now, perfect use of that fast lane. Knew there might be a pinch coming in from Sewer, and Scuba is disoriented. Forced to back on up here. Baby with a swing out there, and Jaw finds yet another. Scuba is 7 HP. And another classic G2 Thrifty is in the works. There's no time for Scuba to get out of this round with really anything. And a strong breeze to blow him over. And Jaw's full of more than hot air.
Man, those are just the little micro decisions you see that separate the world's best from everybody else. Trent, forced off by that drone, immediately takes the timing to get back up into that angle. That's the kind of play that you have to make if you want to win rounds like this. Playing it safe, just going back to site, holding and getting exec on, and you have the bandit, that's probably not going to cut it. He gets right back into that position, and he gets 2 because of it. Aw, guys.
Quick feet, quick trigger.
Getting that Thrifty here for G2 is going to be so vindicating. On this defense side, already getting to a very healthy 4-round total. Baby pushes out, spotted here though. Ballsy enough to back away without rendezvousing.
Yep, puts the fear of God in Scuba. Just hits him with some damage through the wall.
The fear of dad, I mean.
Right here.
Look at this walk up, bro. He does not care. How do NRG bounce back? Let's listen in.
Oh, keep it out. Come back. Getting this gun. Come on, could be. Leave any guns?
My flash. Could be
I'm
bunny.
far, guys. I'm far. Fade has the A
I
line.
know. We're just gonna peek B and we're gonna end A at him. Walking up. We're gonna peek B and end it.
He's Odin just holding me, leaving.
I'm gonna peek A-Link.
Smoking ceiling.
I fucking tap out again, bro.
CT again. Nothing close.
I'm darting A-Link. Could be back on.
I'm in, boys.
A-Link,
I'm in.
A-Link.
A-Link.
Nothing
Yeah,
close.
flash.
Nothing close. Yeah,
Wait,
me
get
too.
Close right, I think.
Get active.
No, not close right. Landing A-Link right now.
Okay. I'm getting bombed down.
Wait, fight A-Link together.
Yeah. Front B, front B.
Last player standing. Spike down.
shot.
Flawless.
Can we just rush the other side? Yeah,
You heard the first thing they said. Oh, he's cheated out. They cheated him out of B. Babybay just walks down to find that first kill.
G2 there as well. You can see when they get the picks on the other side of the map how fast Valen is to just wrap through as the spike's being planted. He's already there to flank while there's a distraction and pressure coming in from the Link side.
Hey, Josh wants more than 6. Y'all heard him? Let's go.
I mean, yeah, he's requesting more than 6 on this defense side, right? Normally the tougher side just...
All right, out of the timeout. Enough cash to get a Guardian for Kiko. And with the pace that you get Phoenix ults up at, wouldn't be surprised if maybe the situation comes up in this round where he just decides to send it. If there's like a marginal situation where it can get an advantage on an eco round, yeah, sometimes you just want to take it.
NRG determined there's no spam weapons up on that A line. So they've just started to really extend their control deep into A main. I mean, I think Leaf might try and fight his way out of this smoke, but the Flash, he threatens to do so.
Yeah, just knows that he can't fully commit. Too many angles to be seen. That could have been the moment for NRG. Yeah, he's going to send it. Kiko just straight up into the 5-on-5, into the side. Exact overdrive dealt with immediately.
This is what G2, though, they're good at handling. They can absorb this pace up from NRG or any other team, really. And there's Trent. Nice little corner to fire, but he reveals himself by taking down the clone. It doesn't matter. He's found 2. G2, can they get Babybay properly into this side? Oh, that's awkward timing for the L drone. Babybay has to play retake now.
And pinged up. That gives Brock the opportunity to move forward.
Is there an Odin down?
Is a bold decision from him.
Spike's got to be recovered. He's watching this angle for Valorant, and that's perfect. He knows. Now where Babybay is. What a round from NRG.
That's
Very little
sick.
to work with coming into it. Important timeout called. And G2, well, they are going to be sent packing at this 5-round total.
Yeah, sick little play there from Brock, maneuvering into this position when Babybay was tagged by the drone and had to fully give the space. I will say, man, Bonkar out of these timeouts on an eco round, if they've got ults, he loves to throw in an ult play on those rounds to catch the other team off. Tried to do that back on Pearl, didn't work out there, but here, run it back, plus overdrive exec into the site, and it gets them the round win.
10 rounds in, we are even. Valorant here forced back down. I can hear that burst of pace from the Neon. Most of G2 are going to be in position. Look already to the side. Yes, Valorant finds the timing. That's dirty! Cold showers all around after that one. Scuba here just as the smoke disappears. Valorant etches up his 4th. Jaw denies him the ace, but I think the message has been delivered.
I don't think Valen is one to ever complain about getting an ace
Yeah, you know
stolen.
what? He should,
He's not
bro.
that kind of guy.
He should. You know what? Back yourself,
He
kid.
deserves to have that attitude.
That's
Crazy on that 3. The transfer onto the 3rd is nuts.
But with the walk timing of the smoke is just...
That spray control, the adjustment down to the right. Perfect.
Going for it, boys.
You were saying...
That's the, I mean, listen, it's not like when Texture gets the 4K and bro's running around the stage molding. It's a different league. Now I was like, oh, that's okay.
Yeah, there was no connection. That is fair.
But it's okay.
All right, Flash out, and we're going to go for it. Okay, 1-for-1 is going to be Hunter's Fury in play, though. Jaw, got to be careful. Fortunately, he has the lateral mobility to avoid those shots.
Scuba all the while is just hoping to catch someone peeking towards B, maybe someone rotating.
So NRG here, they've taken this mid-slope area, right? Scuba has control, and they're just
This is a good little setup, though, for G2. They have the info if someone gets in towards B. They have the players stacked up towards A if the hit gets there, and they can rotate to B quickly. And they've got garage control, having Valen posted up there.
What's Jaw doing? Huh? What is he doing, bro?
We're getting a little too crazy. We are getting a little too crazy. Babyface trying to get on the angle. Close, close.
He's vibing, man. So that round is just pure vibes from G2.
They had a good setup, and then they sent it on them. That was a situation where it's like, all right, well, no matter where NRG go, G2 are kind of set up, prepped for it, right? But Trent goes down on that peak. Jaw is just in there trying to fight because Valen called after getting the kill on Ethan towards Garage. They just wanted to swing out. And listen, I like that they're keeping the aggressive mentality there. It ends up they are here. The curveball is that Leviathan are waiting right now in the grand finals, trying to lift the second trophy, and that organization's history here in Americas. We'll see which of these two teams can make it there. If we can go to a map 5 here from NRG. Kiko wants that. He's fighting out straight away and gets the first.
Joe, those able to trade that one out. And it's a consideration for Ethan if he wants to emerge through Garage as well, but he's tempered that aggression. He walks up into a headhunter line and takes a chunk of damage.
Dre just knew he had a timing to get into sight, but goes right into the waiting arms of Brock with that Sheriff. Demon with the weapon on these pistol rounds, and now it's all in Trent. 1v3.
Man, Scuba should be able to finish this off easily. There it is, another pistol picked up here for NRG. An interesting first half there. G2 obviously find a crucial 50. And look to be a bit of a problem here for NRG, but they've scraped together some key rounds. And Brock is looking sick with the Sheriff as usual.
Cool little trap play from NRG on a pistol round where you're going to be light on util. It's just paranoia plus your one Phoenix Flash. Is there an audio cue of someone going towards Garage early? If yes, both of us press the mouse 1 button on these abilities and then just send it out and fight. It's pretty cool from NRG.
I wonder if G2 are planning a push through Garage here. The pings might have indicated that. Early into Garage, this is going to force Kiko off of it. Doesn't really want to tangle with large numbers of G2 players in there, and he'll get Jaw and be able to fall off the line. Duck back for more, that's fine. Baby Bay, yep, always a rat. Up inside that B site now. And that spike might end up joining him via main. Can Baby Bay prevent this cross from being covered?
He was finding some insane lurk timings on Pearl. Has been doing a lot of backstabbing on these attack rounds throughout this stage. Being the primary Sentinel, has had a knack for the timings for sure. And already we're 2 rounds in, and he took a big timing on both of them, walking into C on the pistol and now getting that space on B and cutting off a rotator. He's got his team in a position to maybe win this upset round.
This early Garage reclear means there's a potential rewrap. No, he's going to walk out. Well, the timing, he has a knack for it, but this time it fails him.
Yeah, I mean, feels like there's no reason to expect you're going to be walking into 3 players staring at you there. Body block just so they can stick the spike. Yeah, that's nice. And Brock with the Odin cleans things up. So Dre gave them an opening, but ultimately that's not enough with the low buy, the save round, and NRG come away damn near flawless.
This is important, NRG fighting to force us to a 5th and final map. It'll be the Ascent map that from NRG, we haven't seen anything yet, and from G2, we saw quite a baffling performance against Leviathan. There's definitely opportunities. We talked about how weak G2 looked coming into this series. While they've bounced back, I still don't know if they want to go to that 5th map.
Samada's going to go ahead and pick up this Outlaw, and there's a couple one-shottable targets on G2. It's Ethan with the Bucky. It is an assortment of various weapons from NRG on defense.
So A-main control is traded in favor of some Sewers presence for NRG. Just now, Marta is pulling back off that contact line with the Outlaw.
NRG just have Ethan jiggling towards that back B side. It's a patient G2. These are the moments where you listen in on their comms, and every little inch of the map that they will be trying to canvas, it's like 3-2-1, 3-2-1. They're always just peeking these things together. They're so regimented in these mid-round moments.
Because of how deep on the site Scuba is there, that Blaze Wall doesn't do anything for G2. They were trying to imply a split on C, but the Cypher is just going to see everything. You'll note that Leaf is waiting for a chance to hop into B. Still a flash to his name.
Yeah, he wants to make noise, be a distraction, draw some attention there. Jaw has been inserted in A-long for a long while, and G2 have just been waiting to go back to him to get into this execute, but NRG are here. They have 3 players in the site ready to anchor.
Jaw gets caught on the elbow by the looks of things. It's a one-shot there from Marta. Now we can reposition behind his fast lane.
21 seconds, and they are trying to rotate out right now, G2.
All right, well, Valon's found another one, though. Is it worth pushing the issue? They're selling a fake on a fake!
What a ridiculous call. They felt like the only win con in this situation was to have half their team abandoned in the site to die, while two of them go to B to get the spike down.
There were like 4 fakes sold this round, I'm certain of it. Baby Bay has to go large here. He needs this position to cover the defuser. Mata walks into the line, and again, he finds success. This will allow him to fall back, but he might have been happier in mid-window, honestly.
This would be an unbelievable round win. I don't think I've ever seen a call like that on such low time or that late of a rotation. It's a 2-on-2.
There's a double face set up here for G2. They're waiting for Scuba to show. Trent picks it up, and now it's on Ethan. One is good. Ethan, though, down to 15. Low, very spammable. Fake TP, and Trent now again has to clutch against the King. And he comes out with the trump card. What a nuts round from G2.
Insane call in that ultra late round, executing into the site. In this situation, I don't know how many times you need to play it, but 99% of the time, it feels like the attackers are just going to be running into a brick wall on that site. They're going to send it and just try to win the fight, get the spike down, do what they can. But G2 decide to abandon half their team on that site with like 15 seconds remaining or so to run back to B and plant in a man disadvantaged situation, but they think that'll be more winnable. That is crazy, and it works. I'm stunned. That's an insane call from them. And for Trent and Baby Bay to then close it out on top of that in the 2v3 is just ridiculous.
Prowler into a garage here. Scuba takes his time, eventually finds the kill, but Kiko, can he pick this line up? Dangerous stuff! Kiko doesn't expect the third player, and now Leaf is so deep here on their C side. He's practically part of the masonry.
On too low HP to actually get anything done, though. Nightfall avoided by Ethan. Valen just trying to wait for a moment up in mid-window. Dre has to fight close with that Stinger, but Ethan gets the best of him.
Trent on the Phantom. He hears that Ethan's crossed. That's important information to pass. They can pull off this side.
Yeah, Trent has to give that space, and at this point is happy to get somewhere else on the map that's a little bit safer. Valen upgrades the gun, has the Vandal now. Gonna just try to meet up with his teammate.
So we're gonna see it again. In a man disadvantaged situation, G2 are crossing the map to an alternate bomb site.
These are the two longest standing members of the team. Well, like 4 years, 5 years these guys have been playing together. From the days pre-partnership to playing in challengers to qualifying. Teammates for ages. Can G2 take down another 2 versus 3?
I don't think Ethan saw the second player in hell. Don't know how important that is. Valen's able to cross, and he's still healthy enough now. A crossfire put together. No, Valen solo on this angle. Doesn't seem to matter. Trent again gets to be the second bite of the apple. And the later mouse gets the cheese, baby. It's a tied game yet again as G2 even it up.
Back-to-back 2 versus 3s. They close them both out. It's ridiculous. They've got the star power and the right decision-making going for them. And man, I know it's been a while now, but it is just good to see Valen playing his traditional smoke roles because IGLing and fragging, that is what he does when he's on the Omen, when he's on the Astra. He's just at his best.
G2 again, these rounds that they've strung together, reminiscent of the Thrifties they managed to pull off on the previous maps. And there's an opener for Baby Bay, just what the doctor ordered. Let's listen into some comms here to see how G2 advance out of this position.
Go. Yeah. Get orb, Alex. Full greed. He's going to be here. Give Alex the plant, Trent. Or could be there. I don't know. He could be close right.
I don't give a fuck. Alex, you want to take this? I'll give you that too.
He just
hit
pushed
ship.
Yo, this guy's a brick.
You gotta ban Diddle as well, alright? Okay. Don't kill him. Let Alex kill him. That ult is fucking huge for this next gun round.
He's shooting, bro. Fight him window.
Let Alex kill him. Or
window. Just run him, bro. Just run him.
Yeah, they need that overdrive for Jorgamo.
They've given us the narrative. We have the storyline to follow. Wait.
Jaw hunting for the frag. Brook trying to make himself scarce here with the Bucky up on the corner. Oh, Jaw. Spidey sense tingling. Bueller!
Ouch. All good. Got the orb.
Scanning ahead.
All right, there's Valen. Will finish off the job at G2. Again, slower start to this half. Lose the pistol. Fine. But there's been some sublime Valorant these last 3 rounds.
Yeah, they dismantled that aggro C-long push from NRG. The peek from Baby Bay, instant kill with the Outlaw, teleports away, and G2 just refight it, brawling with the Phoenix, where the Agent excels. Light work for them to clean up that entire effort.
And NRG, what's this answer supposed to be here? They feel like they've been caught short-handed in so many parts of this map. They are going to be spread thin by design. Kiko.
Oh, it's brutal. Is they're finding the advantages, but they're not closing some of these rounds out. Mata's ultra aggro, deals with the run it back, and as that Hunter's Fury to supplement that, that's beautiful.
That is wild. NRG fight out all those openings.
God.
They push up on every extremity. And there's no way G2 are ready for that.
A destructive play in A main. The all-out push from Mata that gets supported by the Hunter's Fury from Brock. Breaks the run it back. And then there can't be the instant trade.
Jeez, Ethan is so early up mid.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's just Ethan with like the fast TPs getting in there. Crazy little set piece called, and it absolutely fries G2.
Tour de force has to be lent on by Baby Bay here. Outside of that, his weaponry is pretty bad.
All right, well, the pace is still crazy. Again, fight to A main. Mata's all the way through. What is this peak? What is going on?
And everyone's spamming. Leafs able to get away. Healing up now. Brock trying to get around behind his own Aldrone, and Baby Bay is so low. He's got to respect the shock dart. Ethan pushed up close, and Baby Bay is not ready for this. This is the up-tempo pace from NRG.
This is TDM. We might as well be casting a game on Drift. This is just chaos, bro.
And Josh is saying, we can absorb these up-tempo plays. We can absorb these pace increases. Can you?
I don't even know where did Joe even come from? where was he at? Did he go through peak? I mean, there's too much going on.
I think he went up.
I'm overstimulated.
Here is Scuba now.
Production, replay the round at 0.5 speed.
We're going to have time for that by the looks of things, because young Scoob is unsure about what G2's game plan is now. Having to retake into the A site, one of the toughest sites in the game to retake, against both duelists. Long odds. Certainly a deck that's stacked against Scuba, and yeah, we hear the overdrive now in play. Relay Bolt gives an inkling as to where the Cypher might be, and that'll be checked by Jaw.
And they just know. They just know. The duels work into the double swing. No chance for Scuba there. No chance. I'm going to try to parse out what happened in that round via the replays. And I'll let you know if... Oh my God! What was that kill?
Hey, remember, you're trying to make sense of this.
I don't know. I'm just going to react. I'm just going to give you reactions. That's it. YouTuber thumbnail face type activity, bro. I got nothing.
And then ripping the overdrive in the 1v2.
Chaos the last two rounds. Just back-to-back NRG all out in kickoff. G2 obliterated NRG 2-0 when G2 debuted some of their new double duelist looks. First time they were really playing this fast game style. We're getting back into it now.
I'm told we had a bug with Kiko's Phoenix ult. That's what was being looked at. So round rolled back. G2 go back to 9 here.
And Jogamo has been instantly inserted over towards A short. So G2 will have a later option in this round to pivot back, go for an A execute if he...
Doesn't get re-cleared.
Yeah, it doesn't get re-cleared if he keeps this space. And there's a re-clear towards long from NRG, but that is not his position at the moment. This G2 team are happy to prod both extremities of the map. Dre with this op over towards C, leaving Job in sewer over on A, and deciding what the best option is later in the round.
It's a mid-round walk-up. No, okay, he sees it now. This is going to get Leaf. It's going to get his attention.
NRG feeling really starved for info, knowing that Baby Bakery pushed up C, knowing they have no A control. The read from the team right now is that there was just going to be an A exec, but it's only Jaw alone. Getting caught by Brock.
Scuba now revealed this is going to provoke a rotation in.
Yeah, there's that rotation in right in time, but Leaf just deals with Mata immediately.
Big frag for Leaf and this Baby Bay clearing Scuba out from the back of the side. Kiko, can he flash into this? Runner back active, of course. Gets a second chance, may not even need it. It's on Valen now. Oh my goodness! Kiko will return. Post-ult. Valen has to go for this plant though. Time is so short that Molly would have stalled him out. Blaze wall. That hurts, man. That really stings.
That change to the wall. I mean, yeah, it does so much damage going through the box.
Valen now knows where Kiko is. What a swing! What a win! What a Red Bull clutch from the captain! Again and again, Valen delivers.
These are the kind of series late in Americas where Valen just decides to be that guy. Like in the qualifying game
Seconds left.
for kickoff to make it to Santiago, he went with like 64 for 30. It was something like that, playing Astra across 3 maps.
That's messed up. That is messed up.
Just late in these Americas tournaments, the highest stakes matches, BO5s especially. There's no sense of exhaustion with him at all. No, he just thrives in this environment. Oh my God,
Bro,
man,
come
just
on.
stop. He has gotten the most disgusting kills on this map. They're all the first bloods as well. It's ridiculous.
It's just giving a feeling that G2 can't lose this. They can't lose these rounds. They just don't. Scuba's pulled over towards that garage direction here, leaving C site open with the exception of that util.
And now where do you go from here as NRG? You want to play for a retake later and you have no smokes for any of the choke points? That's going to be tough. No paranoia to get back in. That's going to be tough.
I must wait a moment.
No, they want to anchor this site. That's a win con they can play to. Mata, great first shot.
He got in so quick. Can he get out, though? That's the problem. He might not want to. Yep, he sticks around. Doubles back here with his overdrive. And all of a sudden, that ridiculous early advantage G2 eked out has gone. I don't know where Valen was going there. He is caught.
Some great play from NRG. They make the right decision there to get aggressive fight together. Now 4-on-2. These are the kind of situations they haven't been able to win. G2 winning in the late round with less players, winning out clutches. NRG need this bad.
Leafs have been allowed to cross. He's so alone. He is so isolated. Trent is for some reason fixated on this garage push that's never going to come.
Leaf plants for himself long, might get caught. Oh my God, just barely around the corner.
Is Trent going to find a timing because it's so ridiculous that he's here right now?
Surely there's just no way, right? Surely there is just no way.
No, here we go. All right.
Oh
Leaf.
my God. He
Looking
gets the
dangerous.
flash.
Had the flash, but didn't have the health. Scuba's going to be
Oh
able to
my
get
God.
this game evened up again.
The kills get him the reflash. Oh my God, he had me sweating. They always make it close. They always keep it dangerous, no matter what. Round opens because Bang gets this ridiculous shot. But then NRG make a good team fight decision here to just surge into that C site as soon as the pressure was coming through the choke. Mata gets the kill with the op, switches to the overdrive for a second. That's beautiful from him.
Frustrating after just a bizarre opener gained by Baby Bay. For NRG, these rounds have been few and far between in this end of the match. But that's crucial. It's going to mess with the economy of G2 in a big way.
There's just some incredible play from both teams, and why would you expect anything else but that? One of the most consistent teams globally in the world in G2 and the reigning champions winners. And yet somehow this is in the lower bracket final. Maybe we'll talk about that later. But it's, again, execute into C. Scuba, perfect timing with the trip.
Happy to play off that side cage. Trip combo now going to be seized towards the back of the side spotted by Leaf. He has a rifle, but there's going to be a trade easily enough. Valen somehow gets away.
One enemy
Hopping,
remaining.
skipping, jumping. He's out. Stunned up low, tries to swing it. Mata's there with the op. The long barrel of the law prevails.
Felt like we haven't seen as much opping from Mata in this stage as we have at different points in his VCT career, but one of the best in the league whenever he picks it up. This NRG team, again, doing a great job just fighting towards this C-side. The backside trips that are playing for giving your ability to team, giving your team the ability, to flood. Just like that, right? They get back in. No one is able to break the one trip, so even with even with the delayed ping, Scuba still just gets a free one, right?
We were promised a scrappy game, and we are getting it.
Looks like NRG are going right back to this A fight. Flash with the stun over the wall. That is sick. It forces Baby Bay away. Do they know it's possible that someone slipped the net? Yeah, it's Ethan with the op, huh? But he gets the kill.
It's crazy that he's
what?
So aware of that. Leaf tries to get through that garage spot with the run it back. Now he might come back with some backup. At least George taking up that position. It's a pretty shallow owl drawing out towards C site.
Oh, good. We got my opping IGL on the case.
Oh, okay. Scuba just 1 for 1 there, but that's going to be enough, surely. It's B-site now looking open for G2. Wait a minute,
Man.
Jaw getting active out of garage.
And that was Ethan out in the open on the angle as well, so he can't even kind of glide back, stay alive. Brock getting flashed. Oh, back on the reswing, he gets it.
Fall blind doesn't seem to matter. Hold in one for the boys is the game plan. Brock trying to get involved in the rest of this round because Trent is the last one standing. Planted at the back of the C site. This is actually awkward for Trent to try and hold from.
Surely not, right? Up against the Neon that's just going to jump around and then the Odin spraying you.
It's a terrible post-plant position for Trent. It just can't feel comfortable. Marta can easily jump peek and confirm.
Oh my god.
I know.
Oh my god. I mean, my heart dropped for a second. That is crazy.
I thought it too. Now, though, NRG get up to 12.
That is just like an uncrackable 1v2, though, against the Odin, Sova, and a Neon that's just going to be jumping around while you have low HP. We talk about Baby being really willing right now as this Sentinel main lurking on attack to try to push for timings. And it was working out early in this half, but we're seeing in a crucial round like this, it's just not paying off anymore. Scuba has the awareness, he understands that that gap is there, and he closes it. He had to give the team a lot of set pieces out of timeouts over the last couple days. Is that going to be the case here for G2?
Okay, not a full committed push here from Kiko, but trying to condition that there could be a push-up out of B. Hanasiri off the rip.
Wow, I
Pretty
love
big.
this from Brock. Yeah, just kind of a disruption ult to whatever the plans might have been out of the timeout results in a ton of damage.
And now you've got to recalibrate a little bit and ask yourself whether the game plan you walked into the round with works now when Valorant and Trent are both at 45.
Just look at how susceptible they'll be to Odin spam at some point later in the round too, how frustrating that could get.
Importantly, though, it's not the duelists that get knocked down in terms of health. So those frontliners at least will be healthy enough, but that is a very tightly held B site by NRG. 4 players converge there.
Yeah, they are just ready for off some amount of contact from Ethan, throw out that Kiko flash play.
I mean, they covered almost all their lanes. The only gap is either sewer or A main.
There's been enough noise cut that, yeah, they want to get some information. They want to take a fight to G2.
Relay bolt slide is good. 1 for 1, though. Brock steps up with the Odin. This could be it, folks. Map 5, well and truly on the cards in this lower final. Brock here gets a ping and some spam to follow it up. It wouldn't be Brock if it wasn't dirty stuff.
Those are the players he lit up with a Hunter's Fury earlier.
And our Baby Bay, the last hope for G2 to get this series ended early. She's very unlikely. He'll step up, being knocked down. We are getting maximum Valorant today. We're going to ascend to decide our last finalist.
Both teams winning on the maps that they've picked. NRG coming out with some B-Jet map. And in the form that Kiko is in across the board, and then on the Jet specifically, from what we've seen with him on Breeze, I'm expecting nothing short of greatness from this guy.
Good opener. Brock with the Sheriff again.
Look at the damage as well. Oh my god, I mean, Valen feels like a non-factor at 23, and yeah, he's trying to get out of there. He can't.
Sheepishly, G2 are backing away from tiles now, realizing that their options just became severely limited on this map. A contact walk up onto the B site. Kiko just picks up the angle at about the right time. And the Brit takes the Yoru out of the round instantly.
Baby Bay continues the trend of just trying to take these timings and expose holes in the defense. Trent getting the spike down, unable to move. And the player backside, though, has no desire to swing into him. They want to figure out where Baby Bay is first, and they can just shut the door in his face. That's just disrespectful.
I really think that Brock shut the door in their face at the start of the round, frankly.
Yeah, multiple different doors shut. The round was pretty much done. I mean, from this moment, that's so sick.
Lined up, insane damage.
Valen just trying to get out on the cross.
Really?
Oh my god. A lot of disrespect in that round, really.
Yeah, not sure how necessary that was. Trent may agree. But those two, Trent and Ethan, have been trying to clutch up against each other all series long. So another pistol lost. Further skewing G2's pistol record matchup against NRG, might I add.
Trent versus Ethan, that is a hell of an initiator matchup. Yep. 2 of the GOATs, for real. And G2 on a lot of classics. Save for Baby Bay. Fast into B main. Get Leaf the Orb. Of course, just more of your standard Phoenix things.
Kiko tried to re-swing back onto that line when he heard the orb tap. Obviously, free kills to the Outlaw are pretty huge here. But no, G2 might just get to go around the world here and play for as many orbs as possible.
Yeah, and this is the kind of setup where if they go back into Ethan, if there's a lot of noise in a rush, well, Mod is there to just throw the slow orb from Tree. If he needs help in Tree, there's the thorns there that can be popped by Scuba.
Well, it's going to be basically a guaranteed bonus round run it back for Leaf now. Scooping up all those orbs. That's the main objective in this round for G2. And maybe like a walk up cat playing into cover. The saved wall is a big issue though. The timing of it means that G2 are going to have to break it.
Yeah, that's going to take a little bit of time as well.
Simon, it's again,
now, guys.
yeah, run diagonal, so you've got to break every section of it really to get through.
Back to my Minecraft days.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Extremely troll. Okay, well, there's a shear wall as well, also stopping G2. Again, this is just, you know, a hint of what could be to come from NRG's defense side setups on this map. Goober up at logs. And G2 almost pass one when they see him coming.
The fourth is crazy. All right, dominant from NRG. And just a side note, since we're on, you know, Brock's cam for that last skill there, send back in the pool. Brock on your team playing Sova. That's kind of nice. Now, they did remove some of the spam walls like towards B main in one of the patches last year, but this is still a Sova map as well, through and through.
Absolutely.
Hey, what agents are you thinking about being great on Ascent? Sova, Jet, like.
Just your go-tos, your old hands. Obviously, the saw Vice adopted on this map last year pretty extensively. Sheer wall, that diagonal sheer wall inside the B side is extremely troll.
Kiko's no problem posting up a little bit further here. Won't be able to one-shot Baby Bay though, so it's possible he gets the one shot off and then he'll, I mean, fully expecting his presence there, force him back.
Obviously, sheer wall triggered.
Cue, yeah.
Okay, so this re-clear now. DL drone, spot Leaf. Unclear if it managed to spot out Baby Bay either. Slow going here, but you know, G2 pushed up on that B-side extremity. They start to get some progress in mid. This is Jordan now testing the smoke, but NRG wisely know that, yeah, this is probably another of the levers that G2 are looking to pull with this very slow B presence that's being scaled up just now.
These B players from NRG are pretty active on the map. Trying to prod towards mid a little bit, then going back into the B site to anchor, and Scuba wants to get there to help from spawn.
The really good molly there.
The angle.
Denies the push upstairs on that far side of the switch house.
30 seconds.
Sheer wall though, yeah, there it
This
is.
is like a cross map slow orb as well. I mean, Ethan caught on the cross. Jaw is just exploiting holes in the map at this point.
Kiko here waiting. Better weapons though for G2 is starting to chime in now. Looks like George trying to pull people over towards the A side there, but now we'll have a chance to set up. CT spawn.
One enemy remaining.
Scuba loves it there. Add logs for sure.
Yep. Leaf here's the reload, and that's a free kill.
Here comes the mage.
Any amount of damage would have been nice for NRG, but that's good for G2. They come out of that pretty much unscathed, just losing the one.
I would like to know where the slow orb came from. You might have been right.
That has to be a lineup from opposite side of the map. Maybe we'll see some more stuff like that in the future.
Nice, Alex. Come on, baby. Hot dog, boys. Hey, good.
Yeah, a lot of that round obviously is Jord slowly getting up mid with 3 players for G2, just kind of sitting B main, waiting. Probably were hoping to punish Kiko for that aggressive line he took early. That didn't work out, but they still had a nice B split.
Now on this full buy round, you've got the operator, you have the Odin, you have every tool for NRG that they want to just create a brick wall on defense that G2 cannot run through. Going up against the Vice, Obnoxious, the Odin as well, and then whatever part of the map you're not dealing with a Vice, dealing with an Odin, you're walking into an op crosshair.
Yeah. There's not a lot of good options for the attackers at the moment. They are prepared, though, to cover off mid. They need to make some moves.
You know, so G2 will have moments where it's like, all right, well, we want to take some space on this side of the map. We'd love to create a little bit of pressure, maybe get some of this Vice util out, but you can just get caught by Odin Span doing that. You could get caught by an op doing that. There's just danger looming at all times.
Marta with a slow orb here, able to stall this. And they follow up the wall, so this is buying a lot of time. He actually tries to boost up on it, but again, G2 are looking for this. Very aggressive there from Mata, hoping that he can get the drop on them.
And they want to capitalize. Leafs run it back, is at least dealt with by Brock.
They
Can't spam on that angle. That's nice with the Molly and the shock.
Brock trying to come forward now. G2 actually really slow things down now. Again, just tentatively scaling
30 seconds left.
in towards the B side.
Oh, NRG go for the team fight there with the players that they've got, but there's no real utility of substance to supplement that play. And with Jogmo teleporting forward towards Boathouse, getting on that line, one of the benefits of still having the Yoru, that gate crash is nice on the attack side for getting into the sites on this map still. They are just able to create crossfires and destroy NRG when they try to push out of the smoke.
I feel like G2 with their controller util is happy just to smoke market, smoke CT spawn, and wait the sheer wall out. They know it's going to be there.
And so this first full buy for NRG just up in smoke, right? Mata goes for that aggressive play on the Sage wall. Little greedy trying to get a kill.
And honestly, I think G2's like operator or outlaw protocols have been pretty good so far. Kiko has been looking for some action here. Didn't get any in B main last round. Frankly, they just avoid him in this one. Until now, that could have been ugly.
Stick to your roles and we'll crush.
So there's Mata, makes that play right, walls up, and then jumps up on it.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, look at that. It's just swings out from Scuba off the arc rose, but it does nothing to Jaw because he gets that gate crash into both. Ethan actually just continuing to try to develop him as a better and better IGL, being a former IGL himself, and that Mitch has really contributed a lot to the team environment, bringing a lot of just like positivity and keeping spirits up for everyone too.
Okay, here's all the dimensional drift. He gets to check wine for free. Gets to ping out all of the Vice util. This is still a very powerful ultimate. That's going to win the fight though. Flower, the timing of Valen was behind him every step of the way though.
Now Kiko is on the flank with the AWP. Has to go into the sheer wall to pick up this angle.
Like, Kiko's just, frankly, unfortunate. Missing out on these opportunities.
Trying to meet up with him. Obviously though, these are just players with classics.
There's a player in Wine. Baby Bay's also sat right here.
For NRG,
there's a gate crash as well in A main.
You just want to get out of this round with the AWP again. I like the paranoia setup. That's nice though.
That was the tailwind that had to be used. Now you tuck your player in towards Wine. I think Trent knows he's going to get pushed. He's just trying to dodge any potential spam, and he gets rid of Kiko. Now if you're Mata, you know you've got no choice but to try and keep your eyes over towards main, and eventually Leaf claps him. From hell, two G2 players poised to spring forth here. Ethan and Brock just don't have the health between them to outlast this. No time for Brock. Trying to fight his way out. Tooth and claw. There should be a double face here from G2 that will send him packing. And end the round.
I like what NRG tried to put together there with the limited tools that they had in the situation. Ethan getting onto Cat for the paranoia into main and the double swing. That was nice. It gets him a kill. But after that, there's just not a ton to work with. Having to try to get out of main when G2 are entrenched in this site in hell, holding that cross. And it's just classics pushing closer on the site. That's tough.
It's not the first time, though, you pointed out that NRG at these stages of the rounds are not having a lot to work with. Right? That B retake attempt was the same issue.
Placing wall trap.
Raw contacting smoke seems to have been their only option these last couple of rounds.
So Kiko is able to get into another AWP, just lower on armor. I mean, everyone on energy, lower on armor this round.
We've seen this already from Kiko. There's a protocol for this on the G2 side.
It's another nice bonus of having the Yoru. When back in the day, you would run a Vice, but every team had a Yoru and you would just be sending clones at the walls. Oh.
He's forcing the issue. He's really trying to get something going, Wyatt, and it's not working.
Different player, but can't help but feel it's reminiscent of Mata on the Sage wall, and it's just a similar enough scenario where they're going for this solo effort into B main to try to get the opener, but G2 are just prepared in those moments. They have multiple players facing those same angles.
I really wonder what's next for Kiko. I mean, the next round, we're not going to be talking about the opping Jet for a couple of rounds now because of where the money might be if NRG aren't successful here.
Yeah, unless.
Unless.
It's Brock and Scuba on this B site.
30 seconds left.
They play with a lot of class in the anchoring situations. They have the right agents to do it here as well. Mata on the way to try and assist from spawn.
Brook has done this so many times before. Look at the spam over towards lane. Trent's having to catch Scuba out. That's one of those B-side anchors dealt with, but still, this is stalled out for G2. They're barely going to get to the B-side at all. And Brook now is ready to wrap around and take the B main player out. Trent has to have his wits about him, but Babybay sticks the plan at least.
Trent is going to play this smart. He's just going to live, just bide his time. But that means NRG need to go for it, try to get a kill on the site. Babybay wins that out against the Odin. Oh my god, and just deletes Mata as well.
There's a backbreaking round for NRG.
Full investment with the Odin, with the AWP, with everything. In those mid-round moments, you just don't catch G2 slipping.
They've had this protocol set up ever since the start of this game.
Gun here.
One enemy remaining.
And really, when I see Brook active around that B side, I really think there's nothing he can't do.
It just feels,
We've been watching it for years, 4 years.
You're playing against G2. It's just like how often in a mid-round do you go for a situation, any kind of fight, where you're not running into multiple players? It just never happens. That's where G2 just excel, where their fundamentals are just world class.
Kiko knocked down to a rifle now. Hasn't actually spent much of this game in mid at all, for fear of being driven off by an Aldrome while he's holding an op angle, but this time it's going to be crossfire between he and Scuba. This leaves the B main presence nil and limited anchoring presence on B for NRG as well.
Yeah, at this point, they're getting that loss bonus up too. They're getting enough to just keep throwing together these buys. Mata's going to be left with bad guns in these situations though, because the utility per se is so expensive.
Okay, nice moves there from Trent.
Yeah, just eats the one ping. That's not going to be enough. That Hunter's Fury is just sent off the back of the wall going up and hearing the spam. All this pressure on A, just a ruse. The G2 team want to work through B main.
They've got some info about where Brook is, where the Odin is. Oh, Trent picks up that angle late in mid. That's huge.
Yeah, that's the util on B, just irrelevant now. Ethan is back, sight on his lonesome, has to tuck.
Gonna get to keep his primary for the time being. Sharpshooting from Kika though, picks it up with the Guardian. And wait, how does he have his primary out? Little gap played in there by Ethan. Now Kiko steps up. Doesn't matter what gun this guy has, he is going to do work. And now he's got himself an upgrade.
Trent just slowly making his way through the site, but there is such little time to play with spots out. Mata, Leaf gets one. The pressure is being applied.
7 seconds
on the clock. There's no way, man.
Mata can't do anything about this. He can't intervene. He's going to run into Trent if he's not careful.
Player standing.
Leaf gets it down. He's so low. This Stinger will blow him over.
He's playing it safe to get the res in mid, though. They can go back together. They know Leaf is low HP. He doesn't have any util to heal himself back up.
That's one of the best applications of the res I've seen.
Will NRG be aware, though, that all of this time spent is giving Leaf the moment to switch up his positioning?
Surely they know this.
I mean, Mata knows it's possible. He's looking at this angle.
Timing. He saw both of them. Insane. Sees him dancing on the side, but Scuba whips around.
There could have been a moment, but enough time elapsed. Scuba could have been concerned about a wrap from lane over there. There's so many possibilities at that point that these NRG players just have their heads on a swivel.
That is such an important Red Bull clutch for NRG to have found here. That's not Mata, who is in a very dangerous situation.
Yeah, so Ethan is able to just tuck in the corner, avoid that steel guard, and gets his. The anchoring is looking good. But then the last two players on site exposed. What a clutch from Mata, though. Really smart. Close range, Stinger gets the one, has the ult, gets the safe res on Scuba in mid.
Also, Kiko finally finds a way to get involved in the game, and it's with the Guardian just walking around. 2 big kills from him set the stage for NRG to clutch up.
Very fast take of B main from NRG, and now they know if they want to go any further, they have to deal with the Odin. They're just going to go ahead and leave that shear wall in B main so they're aware if there's ever going to be a re-clear coming, or if they can just work back to that space for free.
Take flight.
Kiko still trying to work towards another op. The bulk of the spend this round was to get Brook another Odin. I can understand the priority. Ethan might get some early warning on a player in this smoke.
I like this from NRG. Fighting towards mid, leaving the Sage and that util on the extremities. The spam is just ridiculous, okay?
Well, Leaf was lit, I think, by the Aldrone. Easy kill. So
and now
easy.
what, right? If you avoid mid where NRG were putting the player emphasis, now you're going into the util dense region of the map. This is where the Sage is at, where the wall is at. There's a Thorns in main as well.
All right, and Mata just dispenses all the stall utility needs to. Lose out the raw gunfight against Valorant, though. Uncharacteristic, I feel.
Right,
and
Kiko
G2 moving on to the side.
Good for that trade.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, we know
Making a
Kiko's
bit of
fine.
noise. Yeah, no committal, just waiting for his teammates. Doesn't matter, they can get the plant. That's all good. They're going to have a player coming from main as well. That's Ethan, so this retake coming from far too many angles you would imagine for G2 to be able to manage. Surely there's just no way, right? Look at where they're at in the site.
I mean, it's such an awkward position to be stacked up by. Brook's going to have his recon cycle back through soon, I'm sure. There's also a paranoia to set at the site. Oh, wow, Kiko dinked though early. That could be big. A rotation here. Look at Baby Bay tucking.
Player standing.
But I think they're going to be ready for this. There's enough spam as well to deal with this player. Baby Bay has to fight his way out, and oh man, gotta believe in magic. But NRG have gotten themselves to parity.
Some lightning fast shots, but the Odin in that situation is always going to be a little bit better when you're tucked around that corner. So that's Brock going up. Yeah, gets the ping with the drone, and Leaf tries to tuck behind the little, like, whatever, the square on the right. I don't know what you call that, little jump up, but...
Yeah, the Brock Odin. It's a problem. It's always going to be a problem.
Just a cool setup adjustment from NRG there. How they use the Sage and Vice util across B main and A main, and then really fight heavily in mid together to get the kills.
I think G2 understand they've got to play more to these extremities. They can't mill around in mid till they get pinged by an owl drone or picked by Kiko.
And now, NRG switching it up again. Util density over on the A side with the Sage and the Vice both there, and it's pressure towards B main from NRG. Kiko with the knives on this round. Wants to at least get that sheer wall out. So if G2 go back towards this B side, they have to be apprehensive about just walking their way into B main, contacting. There might need to be some util expenditure, like Trent still has that drone, for instance. Get something like that out of the equation.
I'm sure they're also worried the Odin player could just activate off someone else's contact inside B main.
So cross map, Jaw activated the clone over towards A main to get the wall out. B main execute is coming through off the Astral. Brock can't spam anything on account of it.
Yeah, tried to swing. Ethan, nice little pocket there though. Also knocks Leaf inside, run it back. Leaf though going to double back here. We kind of like this idea, but Kiko is ready, poised.
Man, there is a hole in that game plan from G2, and it's exposed by NRG, who are now retaking from every angle. B main, not a concern. That is so crucial when you're trying to get back in towards this B site.
There is a ping though. Kiko looks like he was hit by the recon bolt while he was sailing through the air. But yeah, the spam, it's pretty good.
You just got to imagine there's going to be someone playing in that smoke in this situation. Where can G2 even go? You know exactly where they are. They're collapsed on by NRG. An inevitability in that situation that they lose the round. It's a great retake. But this is just a gap in the game plan from G2. The way they drew that up, if they're going to push past that wall, there needs to be something obscuring that angle from Market.
I don't know what's happening. How
So
are we winning rounds and I'm halfway done practice?
Okay. But yeah, it's just like some level of miscommunication in that situation, misunderstanding of where the wall was going to be placed, or misunderstanding of the fact that they wanted to push through it to try to kill Brock versus just kind of circumventing the, or not circumventing, but rather just having no desire to becoming a global comp. There's so many different options on this map. Feels pretty wide open at the moment. Making it fun to watch.
Timeout there for G2 had to be called as they were starting to run out of steam. Bit of a weird round to walk into though. Couple stingers. It's a funky little buy. Now, Kiko affected by the recon here. Trent does not opt to pull the Hunter's Fury, though. A lot of spam. Heavy smokes here in mid. Ethan might have found a pocket here. It's just not checked adequately by Jaw at all. He TP's away, low as he is. Can he do anything about this one? No, Leaf catches him.
No, that blind hit Kiko as well, so he had no support. Brock with an Odin kill elsewhere. Kiko is just getting flash after flash, trying to escape, but tapped down by Trent.
Preempt is still guarded. I don't think anyone's... Okay, Trent is affected by that. There's no appetite for G2 to push the issue at B, and NRG are kind of ahead of this.
Yeah, Mata had those audio cues as well. Loud footsteps on Cat, so he gets to the slow down, division between these G2 players, but it kind of has them setting up a crossfire temporarily. I mean, no one on NRG is going to be nuts enough to try to push through that smoke, though. That's not going to happen.
Constant Odin pressure, though, on Valorant. He's down to 64.
Spike
So this is an uncomfortable spot to be in. Look how low G2 are. ADS mode. Mata is dinked, but there's just not damage there with the Bulldog. And it's on Trent.
The Odin pressure never eases up.
Nope. Door in the way. Have to contend with that. Optimistic wallbang angle. You see the Odin's a little better than the Guardian at doing that.
Scanning ahead.
Trent wishing he had a more appropriate weapon as he steps into the hail of bullets from Brock.
Just never turns, never flinches, does not even acknowledge the existence of the recon dart. Just stares forward with the Odin and holds down mouse 1. Our champion's MVP. That's how he did it. That is just what he does, man.
That's the boy. Knew there'd be a walk up, did Brock. So G2 so far held to only 4 rounds on this attack side. And I've got no doubt, especially with this Yori, this double duelist on Ascent, they've got to be hoping for a little bit more out of this first half. What is Yori going to do on defense?
We've really been seeing NRG thrive over towards this A side. I think Mata Sage so far has been, great. Outside of maybe the one round he got 2 aggro on the wall and died, the actual util just generally has been effective and well-timed from him. And Kiko on this round taking some mild liberties with the walk down mid. As G2 are not pressuring that side of the map. Drone is going to confirm what they already know. Someone is in A main as Jaw takes that orb, has the dimensional drift for the exec.
There is 0 map control for G2 right now.
The problem is, going into this A site, you're just always going to get divided by Mata. That dimensional drift can go in, okay, great. Your Yoru's running around in the site, and then there's a wall up, there's a slow up. Yeah. How are they actually going to get through? As soon as that dimensional drift audio cue hits, wall right away.
All right, Hunter's Fury, Mata in trouble.
Oh, great ult.
Caught out by Lee for the end, and also Ethan just gunned down there on the site. Brock with the shorty. All right, he and Scuba at least having to deal with Jaw, but Kiko's wide flank is caught, sniffed out by Trent, then snuffed out.
There's some solid entering there from Leaf getting into the site. Now, save for Brock, finding an opening with some Odin spam. I don't really know what the opening is for NRG into this round. Leaf a little bit exposed, actually.
It's going to be Vandal spam in the end. Brock trying to clear hell.
I mean, that's kind of that's like a, chalk that up as an assist for Brock, honestly. Just forcing Leaf into the open there.
Dominion Hunter's Fury here. And a 2v3.
Oh, that's nice from G2 though. Again, those fundamentals getting out to fight together.
Look at him.
How could they deal with this, man? It's ridiculous.
He's playing the double bass in a marching band right now. He's just jumping around a corner, setting up. Jumping around a corner, setting up.
Listen,
and by God, it has worked.
Oh, Valen, finally, someone does it. The amount of damage, though, is absurd. They all die.
It just keeps jumping in the same corner. Nuts. I mean, sure. Some serious weight of kills. This also keeps a cap on the economy of G2, who are still trying to fight back into this first half.
Yeah, they do a great job with the exec out main. No one has their eyes on it, so Mata is exposed, and Leaf gets a great little 2-piece entry in the midst of that exec chaos.
Let's go.
We're about to get 6, actually.
He didn't push the glasses up the nose. Come on, bro. Pretty deep smoke here. Oh, that's just the one way on the A side of the map. It's more G2 concentrated around this B main tiles area.
Me and ranked type dart, bro. That's why I don't play solo.
That was rough. So not a lot of early info here. Tentatively, Jaw is starting to make his way. Look at him, he's got a Spectre, for God's sake. Yeah, awkward round with, like, Brock just blowing up G2.
Yeah, they have to deal with his Odin again.
So Leaf has run it back. So he can heroically absorb some of these bullets. Baby Bay checking him on, let's see if it's time to go in. G-Wall up! Okay! Still deals with public enemy number 1 on the way through. And now, here comes that second wave. Leaf with run it back, taken down straight away. Kiko walks into the grab well. That's such a nice posting for Scuba. I love that. Arc Rose is huge for Kiko. Plays off it perfectly.
Now Scuba is just trying to live backside play around the smoke, play safely.
30 seconds left.
Teammates not going to be here to help. Fully flashed up. It's a free kill for Leaf.
Yep. And that's the bonus of having all these extra flashes to work with. Leaf might even have another if things go his way. Cosmic Divide, really? Yep. That's going to be deployed here. Of course, last round of the half, and we're going to let it go. I like this from Mata, though. He's going to emerge at a weird angle. You're never ready for that one. Very inventive.
And he even gets the res after. That's so sick. Oh my god, the timing.
That's devastating. Leaf, oh man. Back against the wall, to be fair. Sick res.
That is crazy.
You know, because I'm sure Mata has drilled so many retake scenarios where there's a Cosmic Divide in play. That was just great intuition.
So I'm saying his util on this stage has been nice. It's been hilarious to see Mata picking up the Harbor and now picking up this Sage in this stage, but he has been good on both of them. Better than good. He really just has a knack for the util on all of these different agents.
That was a silly round, I'm not going to lie. But as the dust settles over this first half, it's another genuinely close affair. G2 are hoping for more than 5 rounds if you...
They are our consistent America's representatives. One of them is going to have a spot in the grand finals against Leviathan tomorrow. Try and capture another trophy if you're G2 and get a first if you're NRG.
And this game started with Brock with some nasty Sheriff work. Jaw's hoping to do the same, but comes up with nothing here.
Brock's year heading into 2026, it was slow. He wasn't playing poorly, but he wasn't lighting the world on fire like he did in a run to Champions where he won the MVP bracelet, made a name for himself. Felt like he was about to define the meta the way he was using the Odin, but in this playoff run, he has been playing the best Valorant he has all year. I think it's reflective by the eye test, just what you're seeing in front of you, but also by the numbers. You're right now in playoffs being pretty much across the board, second place in every stat, and first place is Kiko, which really sums up how NRG have been able to make this run happen.
Oh, this is such a troll wall. Leaf is legitimately stuck there. And he's got to reassess the situation, recalibrate quickly, but his presence here from Logs. Leaf still exits with a kill. That's not too shabby. That keeps the numbers even now. Spike is headed towards the side. Trent bores a steaming hole straight through Ethan's head. A very important pistol to get G2 off to a leisurely start in the second half.
And they're fast into that B site to assist the players who were trapped in walls, for instance. That was a little bit ridiculous with Leaf. I thought he was more cooked than he actually was. We have the dash over to switch from Kiko, but Trent salvages with some perfect crosshair placement and reactions as fast as they get. Those taps were really lovely.
Might be early play up here in the B main. We'll see, they're going to have to contend with the Outlaw for NRG. So they keep the investment very light.
Shock is good for some damage off the audio from the orb being taken.
Aldrin re-clear of B main. Tells G2 that they might be able to distribute some of their resources a bit more towards mid and A side of the map. There's a couple pings though. NRG are aware that B main just got re-cleared, so they might hope to pressure this position again. It's pretty heads up. The Astra util is going to slow them down though. The sheer wall is not on the B side, so NRG don't have to be concerned about that.
Trent just on that narrow angle, but can afford it. Since the Sheriff will get that high bullet penetration and spam damage through the wall.
Okay, Scuba might be pinged as he moves out. Yes, multiple players actually caught by that recon. That is sick from Trent. Brock straight up just caught inside the molly, and it's Leaf. He'll cut a bloody swath through NRG as they try and find something. There is some momentum. Nice up two, tidy two-piece there from Jaw, and it's an even game in our decided map.
We'll once again be saying that one of the Phoenixes has to run it back in the bonus round. Yep. But that is the case. That is just always such a crucial factor in the game right now. When your Phoenix gets rolling early on the pistol, on the round 2, if you're getting orbs, if you're getting diffuse, etc. Jaw looking good, but listen, already he's putting up better numbers than he did in the full match against Leviathan yesterday that they lost. there was questions about his impact, how much of it can he have on this defensive side, and it's got to be a lot more than what we saw yesterday. And as a team, G2 need to play in a more sound fashion in these mid rounds. They were getting exposed by Lev, just slowing the pace of the game down, being too eager to try to re-clear information and then being caught by the patient attackers.
NRG are way more active in the early rounds than Leviathan were, though, to be fair.
A lot of noise towards B main, attempt to draw out some util, specifically get the shear wall out of the map. And hey, they do succeed in that. Minute left on the clock, now into the mid re-clear with the drone. They leave someone in B main after making all that noise so they can work back into a B hit later if necessary.
The shield wall gets triggered, that's going to be annoying for NRG.
Trent always wants to take some calculated risks at the right moments in rounds.
That door is shut, there's no market presence here. G2 hunkering down, and that kind of tells NRG that they've given mid control. In we go, straight into the cloud burst. Here comes that Vice util that'll slow things up, but Kiko's still gotten quite deep here. Pinged out though, that could be a problem. Runner back, active, Jaw sees a wall. That's not great, he ain't gonna get past that anytime soon. Trent's gotta be careful, keep his head down. Kiko fighting for it there, his least runner back is gonna be denied, but Trent is, he's everywhere right now. The Spectre is popping off inside Boathouse, and Brock is on his own. Needs to try and find a way to plant within these last 14 seconds. And G2 will be salivating to finish him.
There's just no way he can get away with this round win. It's impossible. G2 just displaying so much aggro in that flood situation. With the wall in their face, doesn't matter. They gather up, they're fast to break it. They just try to get right back in to help everyone. Leaf pops the run it back immediately to get in through market. That catch was so nice onto Ethan. And when all of that is going on, when those G2 players behind the wall, coming out of market, are making it feel like for NRG that they're about to get backstabbed and they need to look behind them, those players all the way back in Boathouse, they're just jiggling out with the Spectres, just dealing damage, shooting them in the back. That's a great hold from G2. This has got NRG reeling, sent onto the eco.
And G2 looked pretty restrained in that first map. They weren't getting too excited or anything like that. Now that they're starting to feel themselves, they know that the end of the road is close. Leaf sees Ethan, attempts a TP forward. It's cute, but he's cut down inside tree.
Now wall up and just trying to get this plant in. Okay, all right. Mata is able to get away with one, but he can't recover the rifle.
Valorant just made a movement, I think, to get away that position. They tried to double swing it. Brock also got pinged immediately. In goes Jaw. I think he was a clone running straight forward like that, but no. That gets G2 yet another round. This is pretty big bounce back. G2, perfect start on the side that historically has been a bit more straightforward. But G2 do have a couple of issues. Like, they've got to find ways to really get that Yoru value. Like, try and be present around the map. Yoru can't just sit a gate crash for 30 seconds now and turn up where he's needed.
Jaw so far is, like I said, he's having a better game than he did against Lev. That is for a certainty. Leaning into these scoped weapons on defense, this is an Opera's Paradise kind of map. You have so many great lanes to pick up, and your primary Opera Baby Bay is playing the Vice, which makes sense for this map. So, yeah, you want your Yoru to be opping, and Jaw has opped a lot for G2 in the past. I think he's a little more streaky, a little more hit or miss than someone like Dre, but
definitely more dyed-in-the-wool rifler is Jaw.
Even still, he can take over the game playing the Yoru. You're like, in a situation like this, though, yeah, you're looking at the gate crash, it's back in heaven. Doesn't have a whole lot of time to actually be tucked in wine, but maybe just enough time to get a shot and get away because NRG are applying the pressure.
Another gate crash being deployed here. Jaw should have a way to get on out. Okay, he's got a TP back to it now. Valorant and Leaf getting it done. This is devastating for NRG. They can't get anything started. It's an attempt at an A split that is, frankly, just shut down in tree.
One enemy remaining.
Swing out from Valorant is perfect, and that's 4 on the round for him. Anchoring is sublime from G2. All of the angles accounted for. The swing timings with each other are perfect. This is Valorant fighting through tree. Jaw is not able to get a kill, but is drawing the crosshairs his way. You can see Valorant and Leaf just shooting players, guns aimed elsewhere. G2 have extended the lead, 5-round run. They are dominating on this second half, and it is a necessary timeout call from Bonkar for NRG to try to get back, like Brock on an MXS, for instance. Joins the league much later than they did and is able to win champs on the first attempt. There's so much history in this server too, just Jaw, Ethan, winning with EG years ago in 2023, and since then Ethan able to get a second. Best Jaw in that moment. He can't teleport away just fast enough.
That's what happens when two world champions collide. That's pretty punishing for Jaw. Really expecting at least a one frag off that scenario. Now Leaf is forced back a little bit by the slow orbit. Lethan lingers out in the open. Spike, by the way, was in his hands. What is going on lane right now? They're just trying to pressure into the site and then wrap back around.
Yeah, just deal with one thing at a time. Let's get the site players out of the picture, and then we'll reset and work back towards spawn. Now, unfortunate situation with trying to get the spike is that they have no smokes. They don't even have a cloud burst. They've got nothing right now. Maybe, I don't know, a Hunter's Fury or something crazy could be used in this situation. But they're just going to go for the multi-swing, and it's all good. They've got the numbers. They feel confident to just lock it up as a team, playing it out for the trades.
Pretty important timeout we saw there for NRG. 5 rounds in a row they've lost in this half. Finally signs of life here.
Yeah, I like that decision in main. Rather than using a util piece to try to clear someone off the angle, they play that for, let's get a kill. They slowly walk up, make no sound, jump swing, human drone, and that's how they get the opener. Just a slight variation that Jogma wasn't expecting, and Yoru can't get out of there fast enough compared to something like a Chamber.
Trent does have that Odin. He's still going to be a nuisance. Jaws picked up this mid spot here as Scuba tries to go for the orb. He'll get it. For a price. Oh my goodness, Kiko is ready. Jump scare central. Leaf is the one that comes off second best. We might need to see this market door closed in a moment as mid control is being handed over to NRG once more.
Still so much time left on the clock as well. They're doing a great job just sequencing working parts of the map and then getting into that exec. It's just the execs themselves that have not been coming together. The anchoring has been too good from G2.
Oh man, Jaw is just getting served these last couple of rounds.
Exposed by Kiko. Opener, back to back. Now dashing in, creating space in the site even.
Good intuition there from Kiko, who's about right. Scuba's going to be brought back into the fight. That makes it a 5v2. Long odds indeed. Trent trying to work it in with the Odin. That's pretty dirty stuff now around the corner of Scuba. 3 is all he's going to get.
HP as low as it gets for NRG. What a sick round from Kiko. Just fitting into this NRG team perfectly. It was great with them, I think, in kickoff in Santiago, but now in stage 1, they've got him in a position to be better than just, yeah, he's a great piece of this team. He's replacing a key component in Psalm. He's doing a good job. Now they have him in a spot where he's thriving with this team.
I feel like you've got to be watching Jaw in these early round moments. Double doorless comp on defense. Jaw clearly is trying to play up for an early kill, and he's been punished 2 consecutive rounds. G2 knocked down to an eco, or a bit of an awkward buy at the very best. Okay.
Oh my god, shot a little
They're going to keep going.
wide.
It's Scuba. He's done. Now this has got to have to provoke an acceleration towards the A side of the map, but that's what the Vice util is.
That's a devastating miss from Kiko. It results in the death of 2 players. 5 versus 3. NRG needs to claw this back. Everyone entrenched in the A site. Retake coming from multiple angles, and the classic ult combo, the drift of the Hunter's Fury. Oh my god, and it works out.
It's about as good as it gets. Spike drop, no plant. Ethan has to improvise now. Use 2 sticks to make it in nature, but he gets knocked off it briefly by the Blaze Wall. Does get the spike down at the very least. Marta here's going to set up on Gen. It's Cosmic Divide here for G2. Sets Valorant up noiselessly. He's in position. Nova Pulse dodged. Marta with the footwork. Ethan will be biding his time. This round is crucial here. And it's on Ethan in a 1 versus 3 to hold on. Baby Bay swings out into it. That's the flash. And Baby Bay chimes on in. G2 now nose out once more by 2 rounds.
Listen, those are the kind of plays that were all G2's like last year, going back thinking about the whole Yoru meta, the amount of games Jaw has on this agent, just syncing things up constantly with Trent, dimensional drifts with all. It's just too easy for them. That is some vintage G2, some real 2025 G2 gameplay in that round.
There are just too many of these thrifty rounds that G2 are being able to manufacture.
That was the catalyst of G2 winning on defense back in the first map on Lotus.
And it might be here too. This time NRG just leaving 2 players over towards that B main area. No mid presence. Jorgamo's got the orb again, so he still wants to be playing in that similar style with Gate Crash back up, play an aggressive line.
For all of that noise and effort that NRG put into getting into B main early, some util pieces like the Recon as well, they don't actually manage to get the shear wall out on that side of the map. Working back towards A, where Leaf is playing in a position that that Phoenix flash can get a lot of value.
No check of why, not enough time to do so. So Leaf undetected for the time being. There is a moment to chime in here, still guarded, about to be active. George has to get that first pick though. Broke with the Hunter's Fury, Kiko deep on the side.
Shot goes wide for Jaws. Kiko is just fully entrenched in hell. Ethan gets the door shut, and that might be a moment of respite for the team to actually get the spike down.
I don't know.
Kiko
in the open! Sprayed down by Valorant. That's devastating. Brock and Ethan have to put their heads together. There's still no spike plant.
Paranoia needs to be used early to get it down. They can't use that Paranoia now when the retake is actually coming in. It's going to come down to the gunplay.
1 for 1. It's going to be good enough for G2 now, as it is all on Brock. Champions MVP has to fight for his life. And G2 take one more stride towards that Stage 1 final.
This might just be a story of it was the closest NRG have ever come to beating G2 in a series. We're tied 2-2. That's more maps than they've gotten against them in their last 5 matches, including 2 BO5s, but they might still come up short. G2 might just still be their kryptonite. This NRG team can do it all. You believe in them to win any global they attend, but yet they just cannot beat this team domestically.
It still feels like a snake biting its own tail, though. The 2 teams that we expected to look the best coming into this stage, that didn't, that made their run back, now giving us an incredible 5-map series. One can only hope that NRG can extend it further. This could be it.
Straight through B main. This is how they opened the previous round. And Motic gets that opener on Trent. They just can't accelerate right now. They're being stalled out by Util in the choke, and that Steel Garden makes things a little bit awkward, but Baby Bay feeling maybe more pressure than was actually there convinced him to use that, as no one was able to get into the site and try to close the distance on him whatsoever.
Joel positioned for contact, actually pretty far up on this A side. NRG have no knowledge about this side of the map. There could easily be a player pushing off of A, so they've got to be even slower about scaling towards this eventual A side hit.
Yeah, for G2, these guys could be anywhere. They're just playing passively towards B, mid, if they're up on A. That's really all they can afford to do right now.
But Joel can't play the way he used to on this map, on this agent. He doesn't have a gate crash active right now. He has to post manually up on the line and whiffs the shot. Yeah, he gets some information, but it's going to be full retake with a 4-man squad for G2.
That feels like that would have been the moment in the round for G2 to get back into it. Now they obviously have enough money to go for this retake. But do they have the numbers? Do they have the ability to actually win this out with only 4?
Brock setting up the nerdy dart. That's disruptive stuff from Ethan with the Paranoia connecting into most of the players on tree. They're going to have to try and flood their way here, but NRG are ready. Guns akimbo. G2 are haggard. They're going to back away here. No point. Money's okay, but they know they might need to ration it over the next couple of rounds to try and land this plane, so they are getting out of dodge.
Yep, much better to just save at this point, and there's no reason for NRG to chase. Their money is bad, and they just want to get out of here with all of the rifles that they can. Not done with the game just yet. come up with a big opening kill, the classic wall over top, and Trent is caught. So close for Jaw, round-defining moment.
Yeah.
And with the numbers, NRG are just a little bit more willing to be able to fight into that smoke in the 5-on-4.
Time to fuel up. Time to fuel up.
I feel him.
I'm going above.
2 more
I feel
NRG rounds required here to send us to overtime.
It's a grueling series, and NRG are just tantalizingly close to finally being able to achieve this win. Just something that has eluded them for this team's lifespan over the last year and some, 6 months or so, year and a half since Mata joined the team. This iteration that has found so much success, just one mental block that they're trying to cross right now.
Yeah, one monkey to shake off the back. One curse to dispel. 2 rounds to win for overtime. NRG parking the bus here over towards Cubby.
And this is a situation for Jaw that he can't get out of. This is a real gate crash nerf kind of moment. You're looking at him in wine, and there's nothing he can do but stay steadfast on this angle.
Tree is going to get busy over there. Jaw sees a little bit of leg. Ethan does get hit down low.
Look at this wrap. They're going through heaven and trying to flank into the
wall.
site, walling it off.
Okay, this is going to be 3 players for G2 that can defend this. That is it. Ethan could be a problem now as well. He'll be licking at the heels, but Jaw strikes with the op. Now on the side, 3 players up for NRG. The last gasp for this team to dispel the curse. Valorant looks imperious there from upper. And Brook and Mata, alongside Scuba, have to put this together. 3 cardinal points around the site. They hunker down and gotta hold on. But Leaf steps in, steps out in an instant. Finds his kill. Scuba's able to double down, but that is the end of him. So close came NRG to finally besting their regional rivals, but G2 show us a true bounce back from yesterday's play. Hard fought, grueling, extended.